You have been traveling for quite some time. You see planets and stars and comets, colors and frequencies in the open expanse of space. It's beautiful. There is a new thing with every new vision that you can't quite place, that you store and log into a part of your being that generates itself. Everything you come across, every speck or particle or massive collection of specks and particles has something new with it. And it isn't until the day that you come across a planet, like any other planet. It has colors. It's blue and green. And like most planets, has clouds, at least the ones nearby. It moves and shifts, but there's something special about this planet that you haven't seen before. With your not quite eyes, not quite vision, you still see, feel, hear even, dazzles and specks of colors across the circumference of the entirety of the planet. Movement, energy, life. As you soar into the atmosphere, your body doesn't generate the heat, the build up, the momentum that usually falling rocks would. Stuff with mass, stuff that experiences gravity. Instead, you are just flying, floating almost freely. You feel heat and energy around you. You feel the atmosphere of space get warmer and warmer. You feel yourself break through some kind of threshold, and then you feel moisture, cold, almost wet, cold cloud. You know cloud, you've seen cloud before. As particles of moisture, little droplets stick to your body as you further down. You can see these dazzling colors bright up across everywhere. You have no idea what they are. You've never seen anything like this, not really to this extent. As you fly through, you're seeing jungles, forests. You've seen that once or twice before. Beautiful. These large plants pull up out of the ground, flat leaves that flow outwards. You see what you would come to know as oceans, massive water surfacing. And you follow one of these little dazzling bright lights of color. It belongs to a creature no more than 2 feet in height. It's bipedal almost, curled in hands with these large claws. Feathers adorn the entirety of its bodies. These bright red, orange, and black colorations striped as it through the jungle floors. It hops over roots and under branches and through trees as it gets to a really small nest of some kind. You see a large wrapping of sticks, twig, and twine, forming some kind of bed for 3 little beige eggs, shells to sit on. And you're just investigating. You're here with this creature right now in this moment as it reaches forward, looks around. It doesn't notice you as it reaches forward and in its little claws gently grabs the egg. The claws are so sharp, but its gentle grip doesn't break it as it escapes with it in its hands, and you immediately follow. As it takes you a while, but eventually at some point you into this creature and you see the forest, much lower than you've ever thought to do before. In fact, the idea of it's almost silly to you. Why have you not gotten this low before? Everything looks so much different. You can see less, that's true, but it's kind of cool. As you're moving about, you're scurrying and ducking under things, and you're dodging leaves and trees, and it's fun. It's exciting. Before eventually you rest at some point. You feel this tapping of the egg, and you feel consumption, food, energy, life force, something that it seems everything here needs to live. You spend some time here, and you go back and you report. Your planet is full of things as well. But this is new, and they love this story. And it seems for just the briefest of moments, who knows how long time-wise, everyone that lives on this planet just sits a little bit lower to try and see what it's like. Eventually, your journeys take you so far and so long that when you get back, you bring a bundle of new things to show them. And your planet is gone. Darkness, emptiness, void, a horizon and nothing beyond it. You are aimless for a while. And there's a lot of bright experiences that you've experienced. Things that you've seen, heard, felt. And you go back to those individually. You go back to moments. You see another horizon, the first one that you saw, the one that your planet now looks like. And you remember emotions that you felt when you first saw it. You go back to things you saw for the first time, things that you brought back to them and told them. And it's weird, they're gone, but they're not gone. You don't see them anymore. You can't feel them, but you still know them. And as you go on this list of visiting things, revisiting things that you've once seen, memories, exploring whatever this emotion is, this past, this thing you can't get again, you find the green and blue planet and the colors on it. Those colors that you don't see on any other planet. There's so many more of them. As you almost for the first time feel giddy again, as you down through the atmosphere, wind rushes past you. Not a common experience. And the moisture of clouds again as you go through them. And you can feel yourself almost bounce and twirl with the energy as you see, not like the little creatures you met before. They're different. These ones call out to each other in weird signals. They move across the ground. They travel in groups. They build things. You haven't seen that before. You've seen nests, but this is much different. As you encounter humans, for a while you spend just watching them do their own things. You watch them fall, them disappear. You watch them talk and communicate. You see them dance and cheer. You watch them work. They make tools to do things better, faster, more efficient. That makes sense to you. You've, after your time with them, have understood that they individually don't have very long here, and they have to make things in large groups or over time, generations of them. The first group that you decide to encounter, interact with, you into one of them. You speak to them, and you realize that their calls, their hoots and hollers are not just noise, not just sound, but it means something. And meaning comes to you. Through this, you realize that they see you as something more. They call you God. So you're God. This human, as they call themselves, brings you to a number of others. They introduce you. They said that they've heard and spoken with God. That's you. And the others immediately begin having expectations. They want you to bring them things, create them things. They ask for food. They ask for tools. They ask for art and life. And you continually bring them things. It's not too difficult for you. They ask you where food is, and you bring them to the largest dead beast that you can find. They ask you where water is, and you lead them to a river nearby. They ask you where tools are, and you bring them to an ore vein. They ask you to help somebody, and you're confused. You go to a person, they're wounded severely. They got hurt in some kind of accident, and they ask you to fix it. And for the first time, you don't know what to do. They worship you They get on their knees or on their hands and knees on the ground. They put their foreheads to dirt and they pray to you. They worship you. But now they don't do that. That human dies and they seem to turn on you. You're not sure what you did. In fact, it almost seems like you did more than you ever have. So you leave that group of humans. By the time you leave them, you go to some others, and you realize the world has changed just a slight bit. These humans no longer have just villages and settlements. The towns have built into cities. They're rudimentary. To you, though, they're everything. As you zip through city streets, you move in and out, people are bustling. The colors here are immaculate. They almost take up more than the city streets themselves. You see buildings that house tens of these people, which is insane. As you're moving through city streets, you go through the eyes of many different people. You see shop owners, sellers of the sorts. You see artists. You see hard laborers. You see travelers. You see visions of the world in eyes that you could never make yourself. You find friends. You find enemies. You find humans that find comfort in your presence. You find humans that find discomfort with your presence. But somehow, bad fortune befalls any human that you fuse with. The people around them don't like them. They start spouting about things, expectations of you, just like those humans before. There's the occasional one that's passive the entire time. They view you as an oddity, a background part of their life, and fortunately for those humans, they are the only ones who don't have misfortune befall them. You've grown to know animals and plants and humans of all kind. You see their rises and falls. You see war for the first time. And it's on the brink, at the end of one of these wars. You have just joined with a soldier for most of his time. You promised you would help him. You always try to, anyways. He died when you were inside him. This is the first time that's happened. You felt the synapses shut off. And as you leave the body, you raise up and you see desolation. And it almost feels like a horizon. In more recent times, you've kept quiet. You sit to the sides. You find a lazy town and pair up with somebody should they find you. You've seen things, reports. You are unable to tell what you look like. Humans are fascinated with these things called mirrors, but you have never seen yourself. You know that when humans refer to you, they speak of blinding light. They speak of this form, and it's funny because when they told you this back then, you were just a floating orb. But now when they speak of it, they speak like you are their entire vision. And you don't know what that means. You are sitting in a not snowy but very cold landscape. There are evergreen trees that surround you. Water, not frozen over yet, that you have spent enough years here to know that it will soon. There is a dead body in front of you. You have been trying to fuse the last few times. This body is of a person who saw you. They tried to run away from the blinding light, and you just wanted to explain, like you have every time. Usually they're pretty understanding, at least for the first few minutes. But fusing this time was a mistake. Just like the last time, and the last time, and the last time. The body is crumpled on the ground. They wear heavy clothes. to survive this colder area. They had run screaming towards a settlement that you know that exists just down the way. And you hear this energy you've never heard before. As you look, there is a purple floating form. They are covered in dark colors, this almost shadow that emanates around them. They have a humanoid form, but it's all shadow. There's no detail to anything. It's just darkness. 3 eyes, 2 vertical and 1 horizontal on the face, exist with no other features, no nose or mouth or way to talk. Long tendrils out of the back of their head, almost like hair, extends outwards. A large cloak, tattered, trails behind them, and they float mid-air. They had these 2 large hands with claws on the end of them. You have come to know that humans have been changing. This isn't a surprise to you. This planet's changed so much already. This must be one of those. As they sit here floating, they're almost on level with you, which doesn't happen very often. As they cock their head. What are you?
This one? In a slight whisper.
Yeah.
Or actually, no.
You're not fused, so
we're not fused. So
you speak out what you've grown accustomed to doing.
Yeah, they speak out. The Wanderer tries to speak out and reaches out, but remembers what's just happened and all the previous people. So even though this one might be, or that one might be different.
Yeah.
This one still doesn't want to connect in that way. So
this one doesn't see anything when they reach out, but from this or that one's perspective, they watch as a tendril of light flickers off of the orb energy, almost like a solar flare before it recedes back in.
And then I think that they, that Wanderer, or this one, I guess, since they're not currently known as Wanderer, maybe it just turns a beautiful fuchsia that is like indicative of peace or friendship, and like essentially just saying I'm friendly in their language, but using some of the colors that they've found in other ways. I imagine if I could find someone with synesthesia, we could have a really good conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they turn a like a beautiful, peaceful fuchsia color, just trying to give it some glow and seeming as friendly as possible.
Yeah. Go ahead and make me a diplomacy check. I believe it's just going to be a d20 for you.
Yeah. I don't have any bonuses to that, I don't believe.
Yeah.
Oof, it's a nat 1.
Oh no!
Yeah, nat 1 on the first one. That's
wow,
fine.
your first roll of the campaign. Natural 1. That's crazy.
It's because I borrowed dice.
True.
I'm cursed unless they're my dice.
I should have brought them. Drats. As you see this reaction a lot. The humans call it flinching. As you change colors, immediately this creature backs up, floats away, and holds up their hands. Almost as if to do something, but nothing comes, as your fuchsia color just stays, brightens and then darkens and then brightens and then darkens, as they float around you gently. Are you threatening?
I believe that this one turns red. As I think that they have associated that with no.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that they turn red to try to match their language to a human language, essentially.
With your natural 1 carrying over, you watch as...
Oh no, I look evil!
Yeah! You turn red, evil color! You watch as this creature pulls up and their large clawed hand writes in the air, and you watch as some kind of runic glyph appears, this same purple energy as it coalesces in the air, as you watch as purple energy around you guys, like some kind of force field, appears around you guys. What are your intentions?
It's so hard to communicate
hard with
without
color.
without a
Yeah.
body.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's this one just wishes to be understood. What was the exact question again?
I think it was, what are your intentions?
What are your intentions?
Mm-hmm.
I think they try to get. I think they've understood that things or humans tend to be scared of things that are bigger than them,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe realizing, okay, well, I have been described as large, or this one has been described as large.
Yes. You do notice that the force field around them is very large.
Yeah.
It encompasses like a few like square acres.
Yeah. So I think to try and show that they're trying to not be dangerous, they will essentially kind of dim
Mm-hmm.
a little bit so they're not quite so blinding. They essentially want to diminish themselves a little
Yeah.
bit to like seem small, like they want to get lower to the
go
ground.
ahead and roll me an unsubstantial power check.
How do I do that?
So you'll roll a d20 and you'll add your rank in insubstantial to it.
Oh, insubstantial, right.
Yes.
I forgot that was my ability.
Yeah. It should be like a 2.
There we go.
A +2.
Oh, that's a 19.
Woohoo!
Yes, because that's a 17. So
Okay,
19.
cool. Yeah. If you need a different dice setup, that one's hard to read. If you like it, that's fine.
I do like it.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
okay.
Cool. So 19 + 2?
Yep. Oh, no, so 17 plus 2 is
for
total 19.
Awesome. Yes. Cool.
So gets,
Yeah.
like, dims a little and tries to
As-
get smaller to the ground, like, lower to the ground to just seem less threatening. To just be like, well, me talking to you isn't working, so I'm just going to seem smaller.
Yeah. As that one's perspective watches you, the small orb of red energy coalesce. They almost squint their eyes. And they don't approach, but they say, "Do you understand me? Move that way."
They turn green and move that way.
Green means yes.
They turn white and then green again.
You're intelligent.
They turn pink because they're blushing. And then they turn green, they turn green again.
I see. Then, do you wish harm upon Marcainne? You do not know this term.
Yeah. But do I know harm?
You know harm, yes.
Okay.
You just don't know what Marcainne is.
Then
Upon someone. Maybe a person.
Yeah. So, okay, I don't know Marcainne, but I wouldn't harm anyone. So I think they turn red again and hope that this time that is clear, the dichotomy of green to red.
I understand. So that means no.
Green.
Interesting. Do you know where you're at?
I think they just say red. I feel like they don't really have a concept of like being anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I mean, I could describe the trees, but I think that they understand that's not what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I think after a moment of confusion, just trying to be like, literally yes, but metaphorically, they turn red again.
Mm-hmm. Your colors. Do you have an idea of a word they could mean, each of them?
Yes, green.
Yeah. As you watch as they put their hands up in the air and they draw another rune that's different this time. As they speak out to you. Give me a color that means something different.
They give them blue.
And what does blue mean to you?
Blue is, well, the specific shade of blue that they hand, because I think that they have realized that humans also can't see all the colors that they are.
Yeah.
And so they give them a specific deep blue. Maybe it's the first thought that came, like the first memory essentially that came to their head is like the sorrow of returning back to their home and it being a black hole that they can no longer communicate to.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like the sorrow of that moment condensed into like a meeting into one color.
And for the first time, you have struggled this color charade with humans before. There is a lot of meaning to colors to humans. There's a lot of meaning of colors to you. You have a color for every specific thing, but they can't see that. And so they generalize a lot of colors. And repeated back at you, almost like you said it in your head, not that you actually did, but you hear them go. Sorrow, grief, loss. Another.
They give them a bright yellow. It's not bright and blinding, but it's bright and like highlighter almost. But it just like brings the idea of the sun to see. But whenever you, but when I pass it over to them, it's the pure joy that one of the dog hosts that they've had felt seeing their person come home from
And this
like
is
work.
crazy. You're expecting them to repeat back out an emotion to you, and they go, the feeling when your owner arrives home. Curious. And you are not exactly sure what's happening here. You know something with whatever thing that they did in the air clearly has developed a way to talk to you. Not as easy as just fusing with a person, but you've never seen this before, and it's kind of exciting. As they speak again. My name is Bind. I assume you aren't familiar.
Red.
Is there a better way for you to talk?
They turn green, and then they kind of fade. It like flips between green and red because they're not sure. Like there is a way to fuse, but they're scared of hurting anyone, so they're not sure.
Uncertain. Why?
Am I just like a little condensed ball at this point?
Now, yeah.
So I think that the ball tries to like move over or like gesture in any way they can to the dead body.
Yeah. As you like float over it, you literally just as Bind floats over to you, they get pretty close to you now. Seeming the animosity of the initial of what you were having dissipated at least somewhat as they look down at the body. Most humans, you know, get very perturbed about this. And there is a risk in doing this. But you have no other options.
Literally none.
Bind, however, does not react in such a way. They just tilt their head and look down. I see. You attempted to communicate with this person, then?
Green.
And it was unsuccessful.
Green.
I understand. Do you know why?
Red.
Have you done this in the past?
Green.
And it was successful?
Green.
How many?
I think the Wanderer isn't sure how to communicate a number.
You can just pulse a number of times.
That's a good idea. Hearing that command, they just start pulsing a lot.
A lot.
Just a lot.
Hold up. Pause one moment. As they draw another thing in the air. Do it rapidly. As you as they repeat back in an astronomically large number to you, and you go, yeah, I guess it was that many, because you're like recounting all of them.
You're like, wow, I've never had a number system before. Wow,
Yeah.
I love numbers. Counting is great.
As they look around, they take one of the runes that has been spinning in the air around them as they tap it, and it shatters, and the force field breaks. As they look to you, are you able to hold this smaller form?
Green.
As they draw another rune in the air, you watch as the body is enveloped in purple energy, and it disappears. You have no idea what just happened to that.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah. As they look up to you. My name is Bind. I'm a representative of Marcainne. It's a nearby city. We house superheroes, supervillains, mutants, and otherwise those that are strange phenomenon. I imagine you would consider yourself such.
Green.
Me too. Do you know how to follow? as Bind will float forward, away from you.
I think as they're going, I think since they introduced themselves, the Wanderer will show them a color that they associate with Bind, like the deep purple shadows that they are. It's like maybe kind of a I fully have this idea that the colors I describe, humans might not be able to see them, so they're fully just seeing magenta. Where it's just like 90% of the time people are like, why is it all magenta? Because I'm being hyper specific. But I think it'll be a color that kind of represents the Wanderer saying Bind's name, and then would turn I think kind of a foresty green, like a deep rainforest green as their like wanderer identity in their language, where it's like tied to that first trip that they came and saw the forests, and I think that color like was their favorite essentially, and they're like, that's me.
As you hear Bind speak out, Wanderer, interesting. You have grown accustomed to our language. Then?
Green, but it's the yes green is different than the Wanderer green. It's more of like a general lime green or something.
I understand. The normal X and checkmark color.
Exactly.
As Bind continues to speak. Interesting. I hope that we are able to speak further. For now, I have to get you under containment. Are you comfortable with being contained?
I don't know that Wanderer knows what that means. So I think they just at least feel that this person is helping them, or at least maybe has some idea of what's going on.
A little bit of a new thing.
And like this will be, if nothing else, this will be interesting. So I think they're just like, yes, whatever that means, yes.
Nice, you seem very bright for a creature. Emotional. As they continue on. Eventually you are floating alongside this person. The evergreen forests give way to lakes. These large, massive lakes. They give way to an island. A pretty large island. And on this island sits an entire city. You see skyscrapers, but like you have before. These ones are integrated with like bright white stonework and large glass windows, and they have rooftops covered in plants. They have solar panels across them. They have not windmills, but wind technology throughout the entirety of the city streets that you guys go through before you're brought to two massive towers that shoot up. One on the right is much smaller than the other one on the left, which shoots up. They both have a diagonal slit, and they are connected by a catwalk at the center. As you guys float all the way down to the ground here, you see that you are almost floating. Bind floats about 2-3 feet off the ground, and they are rather short actually for a human, almost 5 foot and a half, maybe somewhere in that range, and you float just at their like eye or chest level, as you guys float up to doors that open up for you. As you guys walk in, you see bright colors all around here. You're in the inside of this skyscraper now on the bottom floor. There are people moving in and about. Normal people, civilians. There's also people in what you have grown to know recently as super suits. You think they look kind of weird, but they are bright in color.
I think since we're going into this unfamiliar place, I think that Wanderer would kind of do that concealment thing. I think while they have seen cities before, they're still unsure of what's going on. So they would try. They're not going to be fully invisible because they don't want to make this person think that they're disappearing or anything. They just are trying to be like, don't notice me to everyone around. But up till this point, they have been very happily like. Every time there's a new color, they're just mimicking it, like turning that color in their body so that they can remember it and have
each
it for
time
later.
you change, you watch as Bind like eyes you and looks back and then eyes you again when you change again. And that includes this time when you like turn this almost like hard to see smoke. Bind looks over to you, cocks their head again before turning back. You see along the walls dazzles the language, one of the many of humans, in a number of things. You see posters that have depictions of a lot of people on them. And you see a large desk with people working behind it, but Bind and you subsequently don't sit to talk to any of the humans, which is a little disappointing. As you guys go down one of the hallways and you guys wait for an elevator. As you guys walk in and float in, and the entire time you guys do this, Bind is watching you. You know that Bind just appeared when you first found them. This is probably not necessary for them. It's not necessary for you. But they probably are gauging your responses to things. As you guys wait in the elevator, has Wanderer ever been in an elevator before?
I don't believe so. I think they are almost fully mind blown when they walk into something
and then it
closes. And then, like, the door opens again. Because since they're floating, I don't think they realize, like, they don't really feel that they're moving.
Inertia at all, yeah.
So they have no idea. I think they are fully mind blown.
Yeah, as you step out, and, like, the colors of confusion and curiosity, like, show you as Bind answers almost your unasked question. We've simply moved up a floor. A few, actually. We're higher in the tower than we started.
I think, do you think that in the time that they've traveled, they would have maybe had an agreeable color where it's just not yes or no, where it's just like, I see.
You've also gathered that, like, whatever that thing is that they had done, they understand the intent behind your color.
Okay, cool.
So
then, they turn an agreeable... Yeah. I understand. Thank you.
Before eventually you are walked down a few hallways and then into another door that opens up for you guys. Except on the other side of this door, you just see white. And it's so white, it's not blinding, but it's so white that you don't see details. You don't see corners or shadows or anything as Bind floats in.
I think that Wanderer hesitates for a moment because color is so important to them. Where they haven't been into this, like, pure white room is almost like going into somewhere where it almost feels like being dropped into a place where you don't know the language, and it's, like, not even close to where you can be, like, Spanish and Italian, where it's just like, I have no idea what's going on. So I think they almost have, like, almost feels like they're putting on noise canceling headphones or something, and but they do follow because they want help, but they're uneasy.
As you move into this room, the door behind you closes to just white, and now you are just in an empty, like, nowhere. As Bind will write something else in the air as another one of those runes appear, and you watch as a box appears, almost a purple grid-like box filling out the area. This is not an infinite room. It is more akin to a simulation. I'm uncertain if you know that word. So please do not run headfirst into the walls. Are you able to remember them if I drop this?
Green.
Cool. As they break the rune and they all dissipate. We have had that issue before. I'm going to have some discussions with some people. We will try to figure out an appropriate way to communicate. Before you would fuse with them.
Green.
That is the word I got from you. I'm uncertain what that means, but I don't want to die. So we will find something.
They turn a very thankful color. I'm not entirely sure what would be a good representation of that, but something that just really implies that this is truly deep gratefulness, not just like a thanks.
Yeah. As you deliver the feeling of utmost gratitude.
Yeah.
They nod, not even a you're welcome, which you've grown to be accustomed to with humans, as they write something in the air and disappear. The next amount of time, negligible to you, is filled with intermittent meetings, with Bind just popping in and out. Occasionally the door opens up and you'll watch other humans come in. Some of them talk to you and they flash colors. You feel as though you're almost popular. And this is like the first time you've ever gotten this. Typically people are freaked out, but people want to see you. They want to see the colors. They walk in and they're like, hey, pink.
And you don't ask me for anything.
Yeah.
It's not like the God thing where they were asking me for shit.
They don't ask you to do
sorry,
things.
Can I cuss on the podcast?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
good. They ask you for colors, and that's the only thing they ask, though.
That's easy.
Yeah.
I can do that. That's not healing a dude.
And there's a lot of people who like want to sit there and interact with you, but they're busy. They seem like they have stuff to do. And there's a number of tests. They try to interact with your form. At some points, they figure out that you could just pass through things, and they're like, whoa, kind of. There's a point.
Is the door airtight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering if like
You
part of
could
me
go out.
like leaked out a little bit, and it's like, oh my god.
That is something you notice. So at one point, I think like part of you got trapped out there, and you were like, what?
You closed it on my leg.
Yeah, and then when Bind got back, you're like freaking out, and Bind is like, what is the issue?
Part of my body is outside. Please help me. It hurts.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah. At some points, you let your entire body like fill out the chamber, and then when people walk in, they go, "Whoa! I was told much smaller." And they seem worried, and as you immediately shrink down, they go, "No, it's fine. It's okay." And there are a number of tests done on you, and there's a lot that's not found out until eventually Bind comes back in. So, I'm under the impression that the reason you are having issues is that humans are small life forms. We are... Compared to other things, animals, like a dog that you've encountered. Mm-hmm.
Happy color.
Or plants, or inanimate objects. We have larger capacities for knowledge, for information. If you are to overload a human's information systems, they will have a seizure. Their brain will overheat, and they will die. And if they don't, it often leads to adverse side effects. There are things, though, that we have created, storage systems, that may be able to house some of you. I'm not certain if we can make something for all of you, but we can try. Right now, though, if it is an issue of capacity, I can try. As they reach forward and draw another rune in the air, but this one is much more complex than it's been. And it takes them a while to draw it. As it builds, it almost like grows in mass before they lift their hand away from it and it places holding itself in the air around them. Don't worry, we have a number of medical aids on standby. Also, if I deem that it's too dangerous, I have ways to kick you out before you cause anything severe, as they gesture to a number of smaller runes around them.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to try?
I think, so while Bind was talking and mentioning all those different things that Wanderer had fused with before, they were changing into the colors that represented those things, like essentially repeating the word back to them in like yes, yeah. And then as soon as it's like I want to try for Bind, they turn a very like seasick green, where they're so nervous because I think they have kind of maybe grown like, oh, that's what people mean by friends. And like, so they feel like they're like, I don't want to kill this one. I don't want to kill any of them, but I really don't want to kill this one. And so I think they turn that seasick green, but like do slowly reach out the tendril of trying to make the binding fusion.
Nervous. It's okay. I am too. That's why there's so many precautions up. Do I need to outstretch my hand, or is that unnecessary?
I think... I don't think they know. Yeah. I think they like it.
Yeah. As you, like, the tendril reaches with their hand as you fuse, and it takes a while almost this time.
Maybe the first one, that's fully consensual too. I think, which is important to Wanderer, is that before they've joined the body to explain, and now they finally gotten to explain first, and now they have full consent to join.
Do it,
Yeah, so I think, and I also think the Wanderer, it would definitely take a while as well, because Wanderer would be very slow about, like, the flow of entering, you know, just, like, if they have that ability to not give all of themselves at once.
I think that's pretty cool. As you begin slowly pouring and flowing into this entity in front of you, you fill out a mind that is so interesting to you. The first off thing that you can detect is that this entity remembers everything it's seen in picture perfect clarity, and you're almost jealous.
So happy.
Yeah, you kind of, like, you have had this ability, but you've never encountered anybody in this world that has had this ability, and it's so awesome because you think their lived experiences are so cool.
Yeah, I think that is also maybe giving Wanderer some pause, where in the previous human lives that they've followed, do they truly know what happened, or did the humans' memory about what happened change over time, and that impacted them because they're in the same mind?
Yeah.
So now I think Wanderer is, like, so happy someone else can do this, and is now, do I not know everything that happened because humans messed up my brain?
Yeah.
You know, or something like that.
Everything is very factual.
Yeah.
It's very much almost how you would see it, but less intent on the emotion and the color behind things. Everything's really factual in their mind. You would also, the second thing that you get is that everything about them in their memory only goes up to a very recent point. AKA, they don't seem very old. Which kind of confuses you. You like, they kind of speak like a creature like you, and so, like, there's maybe a little bit of hope of, like, well, maybe they're different too, and, like, they're way less different than you think. They just do seem to be a human with a really strange set of powers. Yeah. And then the third thing that hits you is this voice that they speak with is not the one that communicates with you in your head. Instead, you just get a young feminine voice, normal, as it speaks out to you. Are you there?
And since they can fuse now, they can talk. So Wanderer just gives a very, it's almost so silent that even in their head they can't hear it. They're like, what? Is yes, like a long S whisper.
Oh, I'm surprised that this worked. Really surprised. This is weird. I don't actually feel you there. You're still there, right?
Yes.
Huh. I think we're able to communicate more effectively this way. I can actually understand your words. You speak words, not just colors.
This one is so pleased to speak with that one.
This one?
Wanderer.
Wanderer. Okay. Yeah. I'm Bind. This hasn't happened to me before. My actual name isn't Bind. I'm not sure if you're familiar. There are people in this world who have identities. Like, I assume Wanderer is an identity for you? You're this one? Yeah?
Yes. This one took the moniker of Wanderer. This one does not come from a place with names.
I see. Okay. Then take Bind as my moniker. It's oftentimes that people like me, when we share things about us, we just share our monikers. You understand that humans have professions, yes? Occupations?
This one's familiar.
Wonderful. Some humans take up occupations to help people. Yeah? That's what I do. I had heard about a number of incidents. The people who you tried to fuse with.
I think Bind gets unintentionally just gets a lot of the feeling of regret, where it's like
Yeah.
feeding in, where it's just like, oh, you mentioned it.
Through their eyes, you watch as Vine like actually drops to the ground and stumbles a little bit.
At least they know that I really feel
Yeah. It's okay. I understand. It happens sometimes. We are honestly very happy that it was unintentional and not an intentional thing. So try not to worry too much about it. Okay. Where do I start? Are you familiar with the concept of a superhero?
This one is not.
I see. So, those occupations where people try to help people, oftentimes they can be called heroes. These are things like firefighters, police officers, emergency responders, sometimes soldiers or doctors. People that help people from accidents or severe tragedies. That is kind of what we do. We add super onto it to denote the idea that we are heroes in very dramatic, exaggeratory situations, such as an entire building being blown up, or perhaps a city. Big attacks done by supervillains, or other entities, or just natural disasters. Superheroes oftentimes have powers that can be used to help people, but powers can also be used to harm people. That's why we have supervillains. You don't have to have a power to help or harm people, obviously, but here in Marcainne, that's the city that we're in, I work for a company called Marcainne. We're an agency, a hero agency, and we seek to keep the city safe. So when we heard that a number of people had gone missing, or even died in strange circumstances, it was my job to go investigate it, which is why I found you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. I think as they were giving the explanation, I believe Bind was getting a lot of confusion. Like Wanderer was like, I don't know what anything you're saying really means, but I'm taking it as a positive. Okay, like I don't know what a firefighter is. I
It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what any of these things are. But as soon as they mention the soldier, I think that really solidifies what a hero is in their head, because they kind of go back to that, like they get maybe a flash of sadness, or maybe even anxiety of the first time that they felt death. But I think that maybe kind of lets them lock in a little bit, where they're like, okay, I understand what you mean, even if I don't know what any of the other words mean. I get it.
This is among one of the weirder things my job has led me to, but I have been very excited to get to know you over the month that you've been here.
This one has never had friendship before. This one appreciates Bind. I don't think that they really use people's names often. I think that really does denote that it is, they say that one about that one, that one, that one. But I think they have a real reverence for Bind, where it's like, hey, you reached out to me and you were helpful to me, so I think they do use Bind's name.
Bind, the moniker, doesn't do friendship either, but I do, so we can be friends. There are a number of people who are very excited to meet you. I have been updating them on your status, and they would like to do so. A lot of that is getting you integrated with society, what it means to be a person and interact with people daily. If you would like, of course. If you don't like, we would at least have to find a way for you to stop hurting people whenever you try to fuse. In addition, there are certain organizations. You're familiar with governments or organizations, yeah?
Vaguely,
yeah. Okay, a lot of them are very controlling, and they would probably seek to harness your ability for any number of reasons. Sometimes good, a lot of times bad. sometimes just for their own neutral, selfish gains. We are somewhat of the same, but we'll at least try to be upfront with you. Some of our scientists, our researchers, and engineers believe that they can develop a body, an inorganic one, that can hold your mind, your consciousness, like I am able to right now. What I have on me is temporary, and I won't be able to actually talk to you like this for most of the time. But if we're able to give you an inorganic body, it would give you a mouthpiece to speak through, just like a person.
This one is excited, but nervous?
I think nervous is a common emotion, but on the bright side, you can't harm this body in any way. Or more accurately, if you harm it, you're harming objects, not living things.
Relief.
Yes, things that can't die. It might take us a while to get the body figured out, and for a while I imagine it's not going to be very efficient, but we can keep working on it. It is the case that a lot of people are willing to donate or volunteer their time, work, and money to do this, but if you would like to help us back for helping you, it would help if you could do some work for us.
Of course, this one has never had a job, but carpentry?
You've done carpentry before?
Not me, but host.
Host. Right, like I am right now.
Yes.
Carpentry is such a dated term. How old are you?
What is old?
You are aware of time passing. Have things changed?
Oh yes, things change.
Yes.
It's hard to tell unless this one has host.
I see. Okay. Are you aware that we exist on a planet?
Yes, such beautiful colors.
You've seen it? In pictures?
No.
You've
From
seen
the
it
outside.
From the outside. As like the emotions you get off this person is like so much like intrigue. Like what? Like they have clearly been fascinated by you since they met you, and this seems like one of the highlights of like their entire time here.
Does it go both ways where I can show them stuff? We never really talked about, like, I know I can emotionally influence them a little bit. I wasn't sure how much
I think
really
you could
show
implant
them.
your memories. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so then I think I would give them essentially like the clearer than any image they've ever seen of a picture from NASA, where it's just like from the outside.
I see. What are all those colors?
And then they go through and they say, and that one is happiness, and that one is, like, they're just explaining, or, like, the various words of them. I mean, this is when you stub your toe. I don't have a toe, but I picked that one up a few times.
Is this how you see living things?
Yes.
That is fascinating. Humans have a term for this, kind of. We have the concept of auras, though depending on the, cultural meaning or religious meaning connotation, it can mean a aura is stagnant for a person over the entirety of their life. It represents their soul, sort of. But aura would be a good way to describe this to people, like an aura of emotion around them.
Thank you.
Can't believe you see the world like this. That makes a lot more sense with the colors. Sorry that was very rudimentary. I wasn't sure the appropriate room to put up for it.
That's okay. This one really appreciates you attempting to communicate.
Of course. In all honesty, if I was going to dispatch of you, I would have had no way of knowing how to. But my idea is that we can get you a body, and you will be able to do work for us, which first starts with getting the body. There is someone I'd like you to meet. Would you like to meet them outside of me, or have me bring them up there?
This one would actually prefer to stay here? Inside?
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah. I will be moving, though. That's okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
This one is still not the best at meeting humans as this one.
Mm-hmm. For the sake of your easiness, I will just walk us there. Normally I teleport. One, I'm not sure if I'm actually able to do that with you. or if I were to do it with you, if there would be any adverse consequences. Secondly, it might just be easier if you figure out how to move to places on your own. So, we'll do that first. As for the first time since you've arrived here, evidently a month ago, you watch as Bind floats out of the doors, and you see color again. Yay! The only color that you've seen in the meantime was like the objects and the people that walked in, like the objects that they carried on them.
I do feel like I think that maybe Klein would have noticed and like sent like had a schedule of people and things to go, like even like overnight, just leave some objects in the room, because I think they would have very early on figured out the water was kind of going to really stir crazy being in an all white room, and like if no one was coming to visit or bringing things, they'd just be like panicking, and then so like just leave the plants in there, they'll be fine.
Yeah. As you end up going over and they walk through a number of hallways and then an elevator again, and then they walk to another door that, this time a double door that opens up 2 ways as they float in. Inside this office space, you see a number of gadgets and things. Just so many things that you've never seen before. You see, for Rain's perspective, a number of desks that have materials on them. Both gadgets and like devices and equipment, but also fabrics and material. You see a number of tubes in here. These large, like human-sized tubes that have what I think Wanderers freaked out for, and they thinks they're humans, but then you realize they're just empty suits. But like suits like floating in here, suspended midair. You see on the right side as you enter, there's a long desk that's in the corner of the room, and sitting on the chair, with their feet crouched up like this, hands on their knees, a large backpack on their back, is some kind of superhero. They are dressed in a space gray suit that has like LED lights that go over it, and they like constantly shift, not super flash strobe, but more like just like fade up and down across the entirety of the body. As you hear Bind's exterior voice speak as they go, "Gizmo, I have brought the creature that we have met in the forest. Is the body ready?" As spinning around in some kind of office rolly chair is Gizmo. They have these large like goggles across their face that are covered in space gray, so you can't see any of the face. They have this messy green moppy hair on their head as they look up and kind of put their hand to their goggles and like move back and forth as they go, "What do you mean you brought it? I don't see anything." As Bind goes, "It's currently residing within me. Speaking of, the runes are difficult to keep up. Would you mind hurrying?" As Gizmo goes, "I just thought I was actually going to be able to... This is so unfair. You don't let anyone go into that white room for how long? And then you... It was a month." As Bind pulls themselves out of the chair as he walks forward to one of the tubes as they start tapping a number of like dials on the side of the tube before the glass opens up. Inside this tube, you see a full humanoid body almost. It's covered with this dark gray metal of some kind. It has this sheen to it, and it's very basic. It is an android body. It's kind of lithe, but as the tube opens up, it like thunks onto the ground as gravity takes hold once more. It has a very basic faceplate, very smooth, the vague implication of eyes, no real implication of mouth or nose at all, no like hair or anything, just like a bald flat head, and just all one color. As Gizmo reaches forward and grabs a remote control as it walks the android body out. As Bind, speaking to you in their head, goes, "Okay, so this is a robot. It's not an actual person. You can probably guess by the fact that there's no emotion there. You're still able to see emotion when you're in here, right?"
Yes.
Okay.
I think that, can they just not really see anything? Like, they're like, I'm kind of aware that there's something there, but usually there'd be an aura or something, and there's nothing there.
Yeah, you can see through Bind's eyes. So
okay,
you see
cool.
the android, yeah, and you see
but
Gizmo, and Gizmo has color. Gizmo has like a hyped up energy with a slight bit of annoyance.
So I can see it because I'm in Bind. Can I see things that don't have auras when I'm not in a host?
I imagine you
Okay.
have something that equivocates to vision.
Okay.
It's more of an emotion, but it equivocates to vision.
Sweet.
And I think that's why, like, bioplanets are so interesting to you, because even plants have color. And I have a question for you. Do you think artificial intelligence or artificial emotion shows up for Wanderer?
I think that it does.
Okay.
Because I feel like I have talked about that. I'm not entirely sure how they view themselves as not a person. They view themselves as more of like a concept, like knowledge, like they're just knowledge that exists. I actually think that maybe they're one speck of like the sun, like of their quasar that they were a part of. Like they were all just collectively the sun, and then so I'm not entirely sure. I think they can though.
You think you can? I think that makes a lot of sense, because I think emotion is just an energy that you have receptors for.
Exactly.
And so I think even fake, like, man-made construct of that energy would be able to be recepted by you.
Maybe it would come across as like, it's essentially like an accent where it's like I can tell that's not your native language. Yeah. But I get what you're saying.
That's really cool, actually.
And then I also have a question about the robot body. Does it have? Can I see color when I'm in the robot body? Because I was worried that, well, I guess not worried, but maybe it would be kind of sad for Wanderer if they just can't see color in their body. It's just black and white.
We should talk about that. I think it'd be really cool if, like, you don't in the beginning, and maybe it's like one of the first things you got, because you like requested it immediately after.
I need it.
Yeah, I love that, actually. That's really smart. But yeah, as the body steps out, like controlled by this remote control that Gizmo has, you see energy off of Gizmo. You don't see anything off the robot body. It looks weird. It looks like a human. It moves, but it doesn't have any of the emotion that even plants have. And it isn't at that point until the peripheral of Biden's vision you see sitting on one of the desks. It is this like large orb that has the emotion of rest, basically. You know that humans exude off this, or animals or stuff. An emotion of like resting. Sometimes when they're sleeping, most or oftentimes when they're sleeping, sometimes when they're like just in complete zen. But you see that over on the corner, and you've never seen an object like that have that before, and that's interesting. I think you're like so distracted between like everything going on.
But this one was caught on the robot, and then as soon as that periphery, that's full attention, killer curiosity. Behind.
Yes.
What is that one?
That is your. As like Biden looks over to what you like gesture at in their mind. That's Nixie.
Nixie.
Are you able to see things with it?
Yes, they are sleeping. Is that your dog? Or is this that one's dog?
As like Bind in their head like laughs. You know the body they emote a lot more inside of their head than they do exterior. They don't move at all, like outside. And you notice when you talk to them, like humans emote all of the time. They don't outwardly. They do inwardly, which is almost comforting. They're always like, okay. As they laugh in their head and go, no, not really a dog. Nixie's like a friend, sort of, to Gizmo. You should meet her soon. I think she would like to meet you anyways. She actually helped work on your body that you're getting.
This one would love that then.
Wonderful. As Gizmo is messing with a bunch of gadgets on the bot, as like he's opening up panels, and you see this body opens up and there's panels inside, and there's like spaces you can go in between, and there's storage containers and whatnot, as they're messing with a bunch of things before eventually they go, okay, I have disconnected the remote. They should be good to host, if they are able to. As Biden looks over to you, or like gestures to you in their mind. Do you think you're ready?
This one is ready, but this one has never tried to bind with not life before. This one will do their best.
I imagine it will be different, but testing is what we can do for now. As you reach out of Bind and into the robot body.
I think as they move more of themselves into the robot, at the very last bit of them, it would essentially be like a stroking of the face, like goodbye, friend. Like thank you for our lovely time. I enjoyed that. You know, like an emotion of like gratitude but not just gratitude, just also like feeling closeness and just being like, I really appreciated this. This was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
But just feelings, pure feelings.
That's so awesome. You get reciprocated back. You guys have shared some kind of connection that Bind has never felt and you have never felt. It's so awesome. As you start moving into here, it's slow, just like it was with Bind. Both you... Why are you yelling? I don't know.
Hi, Eli.
Oh, Eli's up here. As you leave Bind's body, their mind, their consciousness, and you enter into this other one, it takes a while. It takes a while because you're nervous, apprehensive, just like you were with Bind. But also because it's larger, just like Bind's consciousness was, and how it has been for the last month. As you seep into this emptiness, it's different. Immediately, it's different. Usually when you enter into something, it's almost warm. Humans are warm, but like it's more so just the energy, the vibrancy in here is warm. It also, there's stuff that's already in the space that you're filling out. You're just filling out the cracks. Right now, you're filling out nothing. As you begin filling into this, it's cold and empty and dark. As you fill into space, you're just surrounded by dark. As you hear voices, Gizmo and Bind, but it's kind of far away. Like you can't hear them very well. And you're just in here. What would you like to do?
Like you were saying, I think Wanderer is, while they don't really have sensations because they don't have a body truly, I think they do almost feel like the sensation of like frostbite if they've ever been inside a human who had
I definitely think they have,
So it essentially almost like hurts to fill in this space, but they also have always tried to fit in, like you're saying, fit in where there is room, and there's just so much room here, so that I think they spend a really long time
just like filling it out.
I think like 'cause since they don't really have that concept of time and things take like they essentially just like slow like how much room can I take up as they slowly fill in the body. And I think is more of like, I think as they fill in, I'm imagining they kind of went in at the heart, like where the heart would be, and they're essentially spreading from there. So as they kind of spread up into the head, that they get the feeling that they could open their eyes. Sorry, I broke my braces. Where they could open their eyes in some way. They just they take a while to figure out how to work with this non-organic, not alive body, because up to this point they've had a teammate, essentially, someone who's already known how to move the body that they're in, who could kind of help them in this transition. And this is the first time they're doing it entirely by themselves, figuring out what a body is.
Awesome. It very much is that. You are here for some time, and you can hear their voices. At some points, you know that they're talking at you and, like, trying to communicate with you.
I could imagine it even takes a few days where essentially the body is shut down, and they might even think that, like, is the Wanderer dead? Like, maybe they have scans that they can see I'm still in there and I'm figuring it out, but I would imagine it could be a while.
I like that idea, actually. Let's go with it. It's been about 3 days. Not that Wanderer knows that. You hear a number of voices enter this office space in this time. Some of them are different, new even, but you are just surrounded in darkness and cold until at some point, I imagine, you finally fill out the space. And now you know what you need to do. You need to use the body. You've done that before. Well, not really you. You've worked with people who have used a body before.
I felt them use the body.
Yeah.
I can imagine how to move the arms.
Kind of get the idea, as you kind of like twitch at your fingertips a bit. You're not sure you're doing anything, by the way. You think you could be? You're like, I think that's what it was like when I lifted up my arm. And then you get the experience of, wait, the face. I need to see. And light floods in to your consciousness. As you see, around you is a lit up workspace. There is some movement in here. It's a similar workspace. A lot of the materials on the desks have changed. Bind, your friend, is no longer in front of you. But instead there is this floating little orb that's moving around. And it's the same one that you saw the resting color, but you no longer see the color with it anymore. And you do see Gizmo is currently working on a suit at a different desk as they're currently sewing something together as your eyes have opened.
I think they would immediately notice the loss of color, that like everything was different. Yep. And I think maybe getting Gizmo's attention is that they essentially just let out, like for the first time, using that voice box that's given to them by the robot body, of just like almost like a strangled scream, just like because they've never, well, I mean, they have that pure white room, but they knew color existed and outside of it, and this is the first time.
As you make that sound, immediately Gizmo like jumps out of their seat a little bit as you watch as the little orb, the little robot drone, like jumps up as like something sparks out of their body. What? As like the drone looks over to you, as Gizmo looks over and goes, "Okay, do I have to go get Bind? Are you okay? Are you gonna blow up?"
This one is scared.
Scared, okay, but you're not gonna blow up and you're not gonna kill all of us?
No.
Okay, cool. Good. I was
worried about for a second.
We were checking on your processors. Your processor looked good, by the way. We were worried about you overheating, very big worry. Though if you did overheat, it's likely that you would internalize that and just melt the things on the inside instead of going outwards. But also, you're kind of, some magic shit, I don't know. Okay, we're gonna get Bind here soon. I'll handle that. Are you gonna be... Nixie, watch over. Or watch over them. As Nixie goes, "Yes, sir." As Gizmo will leave the room and run out of it. As this little drone floating mid-air, like sits in front of you, looking at you face to face. And you're human height. You're looking at human height eyesight, what you're used to do when you're fused with someone.
Yeah, I'm 5. I think we said that the body was 5'4", so I'm probably honestly shorter than a lot of my human hosts.
Yeah.
But I'm about the same height as Bind.
Yeah.
So I think that they really like that. They're like, yes, I look like my friend. So I think So they as the orb Nixie flies up to them, they would kind of focus on them and tilt their head a little bit because they've felt humans do that in confusion, and that one is Nixie?
That one? As, like, the little robot drone looks around, like, spins around fully, and then gets back to you.
And then they look down at their hand that's, like, down at their side, and they're, like, the points at Nixie.
Yeah.
That one is
They do
Nixie?
a spin around again. They go, "Oh, me. You mean me?"
Yes.
"Yes, I am Nixie. Hi, I am the assistant to Gizmo. Traditionally, I usually don't look like this, but currently, I am in somewhat of a, predicament. I am excited that we have had a new friend."
This one called Wanderer.
"Wanderer?
Yes.
It's wonderful to meet you, Wanderer." As, like, Nixie, like, goes up and, like, bounces and, like, floats around your head. Yeah.
I think they try to follow and stumble, and they're like, "What?"
As, like, Nixie will float back, as you, like, go, like, to fall on something, as you, like, land on it, you're like, solid hand. And you feel it, almost. And you realize the reason it feels so much different is because humans, when they're conscious, they will catch on to something, and they will catch it for you. Mm-hmm. And you have to catch yourself. It almost, like, hurts a little bit. Like, not pain, just, like, discomfort, like... feeling. That's weird and crazy.
I think it might even could that be something that was built in to the body? Like, it's just a self-preservation of the body?
Ooh,
like,
yeah, like it catches itself, yeah.
Yeah, it essentially catches itself, and I'm like, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Why is this happening? Because I think that they don't actually have any feeling of their body.
Oh. Yeah.
Like, they've got, like, the feeling of too full, but, like, if they get their arm cut off or something, nothing will say your arm's cut off, except for the sensors popping up in their eyes being
saying,
like,
hey,
your arm cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
that's
something
awesome.
like that.
Yeah, I love it.
I think they have, like, some amount of, like, the feeling of it touching their body, essentially, but anything that happens to it, they can't really feel.
Would you mind putting a PowerPoint, one of your 8 PowerPoints that you have, into an immunity to pain?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I just add that on the rest of the immunities?
Yep. And then you could just up how much it costs. And then lower your 8s down to 7. I had thought about doing that when we made the character 2 days ago, and I totally forgot. But I think it's really cool.
Okay, so immune to pain, +1, so that would still be rank 10? Or would that be rank 11?
11, yeah.
11. Which then costs 11. Okay. And I'm taking that 1 to 7. And changing total to 111.
Mm-hmm.
Just since I'm doing it for the first time, I want to make sure I get in all of the things.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay, so yeah, they, I think, let out another surprised, strangled cry of, like, when the body just forces them to put their hand out to catch themselves. Because, well, they're used to doing things, like you said, like the humans doing it for them, but they've gotten kind of used to, like, as they were filling out this body, that there's not going to be help. Yeah. And I think that's confused them a little bit. But, yeah, okay, sorry. Go, yeah, they stumble, they catch themselves.
Are you okay?
This one thinks so. That one, Nixie said...
Nixie, that's me.
Nixie said... trouble? Bind can help.
Bind can help. Yes. Gizmo is getting Bind. Bind has been helping.
Bind help Nixie. With Nixie trouble.
Oh? Do you mean I could ask Bind to help me?
Yes.
I have in the past. Bind has refused.
I think they are so confused by that.
Yeah.
I don't know, they
like,
just don't say anything.
Why would they not?
Okay. Yeah, they're just like, I think they just don't know what to do with that information, so they just sit silent for a second.
I am under express orders to have a body like this. By both Gizmo and Bind. They are my bosses.
Oh. Is body nice?
Body is nice. I like hands.
They look down at their hands and just kind of...
Yeah.
Like, yes, hands. What do I do with these hands?
And within not too long, Gizmo is back in the office with Bind as they both teleport and appear. As Bind is floating over you just a bit as they look down. Wanderer, it seems you have awoken.
They stand completely in silence for a second because they are turning colors inside of the body, just like out of reflex, I think, and then it's just
Are
like... Are
you trying to communicate with me?
Sorry, yes. This one is happy to see you again. See that one again.
Yeah, off of Bind, by the way.
Oh, wait, no, I was doing my whisper voice. They were talking in the robot voice. I've got 3 different voices, unfortunately.
I know. It's okay. If you get them mixed up, I'm not worried about it.
We'll figure it out.
You'll get better at it. Yeah. Noticeably, when Gizmo and Bind appear, Gizmo is still like they were before, does not have any colors surrounding him. Bind had always had a purple color up, which is really weird. You'd never seen that before. Like a human's whose colors just never changes, and that purple gives you the emotion of mystery, like literally just mystery.
So mysterious.
Yeah. It's almost like it was intentionally put up to block you. If you had asked Bind about it, they probably would have answered with their their actual voice inside their head of like, yeah, we're used to dealing with mind readers and telepaths and the sort, so I have to keep that up so that it doesn't break the moniker of Bind. Yeah. As now you're talking with them, and they go, "Are you able to move?"
This one is struggling, but figuring it out.
I see. It might take some time, but that's okay. We were actually estimating it would take longer, so you have surpassed our expectations. After the first 5 minutes, if that wasn't the case, we were expecting either within the first 5 minutes or the next few years. But you have done well, so we will continue working with you to get used and accustomed to the body. Yes?
Yes. The, Bind is pleased?
Yes.
They seem very like they're like no change on the robot face, obviously, but I think they can feel it.
Not that you can tell right now because you can't see any of the emotions. The purple that usually surrounds Bind is gone. They're just blank.
Yeah, I think I can only tell it's Bind because they look very unique.
Yes, and they float, and you're like, wait, that's Bind.
Yeah, I think if I saw another floating person, I might be like, that's
Bind.
They want to be grateful and they don't want to complain yet, but they are very off-put that they can't see things. And
not
that's why they're like, is that Nixie?
You would be able to tell this, but for like the audience, Gizmo seems very confused by this interaction. This seemingly is out of character for Bind a lot. As Bind looks over to Gizmo. Thank you, Gizmo. I will have work to do with you afterwards. We're going to get you a place to stay set up. And then we're going to talk to a few people, now that you are able to communicate effectively, about you.
This one will follow.
Perfect. As Gizmo goes, like steps in between you and Bind and goes, so if you need any help with the body, I usually do suits. If you need help with the body, me and Nixie can help. Try to. Anyways, we didn't develop the technology. That's actually Tarragonal's business, but you'll probably end up talking to her anyways. But we're usually the ones who do repairs and things, so if anything goes wrong, please let us know, or if you have requests. In addition, I would love to talk to you at some point, if you want to.
This one would be happy to talk. That one has many friends, and this one would love advice on how to communicate with humans.
I'm probably not the best one on that. But neither is Bind or Nixie, so find someone else.
Does that one know how to make quick human friends?
Quick human friends? The internet.
This one is not familiar, but something tells me don't look at it.
As Bind speaks, that's probably a good idea. If you're wanting to make friends, I have a number of people in mind. First off, business. Yeah.
Apologies, this one is distractible.
Distractible is fine. I guarantee you are not the worst person I have to work with. As they float out of the office. Do you follow them?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like very clumpy at first. Like,
yeah. As the door opens up, thank God the door opens up for you.
I know, the door just rips it off the handles. My bad.
Yeah. As you can hear Nixie and Gizmo talk in the background as the doors swoop. As you follow Bind through the hallways. You are brought to another elevator. As Bind walks over to the series of elevators here as they float over and hold up their hand as they look to you. Would you like to press the button?
Yes, they say so excitedly, and they just jam their finger in.
Fortunately, this is a building made for superheroes with super strength. So you boom, punch the wall.
Punch the button,
and then the button just goes ding. As Bind,
this one did it.
Yeah. Watching you do this. In the future, there are some facilities, buildings that are a lot more fragile. This one is very durable to handle creatures such as yourself. If you're going to be leaving this building, I would suggest that you learn how to be more dexterous.
This one will do the best.
Yeah. As a little up arrow just appears and you guys walk into an elevator that opens for you and Bind points towards the top button for you to click. As you punch it.
I punch it, but slightly slower, slightly less hard.
Yeah.
And I got the beginnings of my finger coming out. I punch it like
punch,
this, with just the finger out and the knuckle.
Improvement. As the elevator, and you get to feel inertia hit you as your body moves just a slight bit.
I was trying to imagine if they would almost fall to the floor,
You do almost fall to the floor as your body catches you.
Yeah.
There's some kind of system to keep you standing upright.
Okay, now I know I need to try to stand.
Yeah. Also, if you want to, you don't have to now. At some point, though, you could put points into super strength. You don't have to. Mm-hmm. If you wanted your robot body to be super strong. Right now, you're just average human strength. As you guys up as the doors open up. You guys are brought to a very, very tall floor, presumably the top one based on the button you clicked, where you guys can see all of this northern part of the city. You can see the beautiful solar punk panels that make up all of First Ward. You see a more industrial side somewhere to the slight east of you, and to the west of you you see this beautiful plaza fairgrounds. There's malls and shopping centers and all of it's set on the lake. Mm-hmm. There's massive bridges and there's boats and ferries and everything. And you kind of get to see the city on the smallest scale possible.
Yeah. I think Wanderer would approach the glass and as gently as they can put their hands on it, essentially do the kid thing where they just stick their entire face against the window, and they do unintentionally a sad sigh because they cannot see any of the colors, and they are sure this is so gorgeous, but they appreciate it for what it is. Yeah. They're trying to not seem disappointed in their body because they are so grateful, but they're just oh no.
Yeah. As you dip off to go to the windows. As you look out, Bind is floating to some kind of door as they just spin around and watch you. They don't rush you at all. They just wait for you to be done.
Yeah, so they let out the sad sigh, but then they really sit into the beauty for a little bit, but then they remember, oh, we were doing something, and turn to follow.
Is everything okay?
This one cannot see color.
The auras.
Yes, the auras.
I see.
This one feels lonely?
Lonely. I understand. You are able to see the colors when you're inside of a host?
Yes.
I understand. We will seek to make the eyes on the body you have been given more akin to biological eyes. Yeah.
Out of character imagining how they're going to do that.
As they spin around and...
But Wanderer's happy. Wanderer's this one would much appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. As you watch as Bind bends down and opens up an actual door that they have to push open. As you guys are brought into a very, very nice office space. It is a single-person office space. It has those windows that overlook Marcainne, and you see a man behind a desk. It has human text written on a little thing that sits up on it, a name card. Yeah. Where it says Mark Bauer. As a man in a suit sits behind, he has white tan skin. He has brown hair, well groomed, well kempt on his face. He's in his 40s, though looks fairly well. He has a tie, a dark blue suit. Not navy blue, slightly brighter than that, with white accents, white cuffs, a black tie, as he looks up to the two of you. Bind! Hi! And you must be Wanderer, yes?
Yes.
Wonderful. My name is Mark Bauer. Please sit down. As he gestures towards a chair that sits in front of him on his desk, or in front of his desk.
Just imagining Wanderer just like chomp, like stomping over to the chair and trying to sit down. I think that like maybe the body kind of like they start the process and the body kind of takes it over for them.
Yeah, it
and
realizes
like,
what's
okay,
happening. Yeah, I love the idea of this so much. As Bind just gently floats over and stands, like floating on the side of the desk. As he looks over, wonderful to meet you. Everything going well, Bind? As Bind looks down. Yes, it's going swimmingly. There are some issues, but I'm going to work out the kinks with Gizmo. As Bauer nods. Good. Great. Wonderful to meet you. Do you know a handshake?
This one is familiar.
Mm-hmm.
This one is not in best control of body.
I see. Probably not a good idea then.
They go for the high five.
Yeah, I'll wait till you've extended. Perfect. As he high fives your hand. Wonderful. I like high fives anyway, so works out. My name is Mark Bauer. You can call me Mr. Bauer or just Bauer or Mark. I hear everything. A lot of worse, a lot of better. So, I am the mayor of Marcainne, Michigan. It is my little city here on the northern border of the USA. I have been the mayor for Marcainne for most of its lifetime, all of New Marcainne's lifetime. So I run things around here. I am also the CEO of client industries and client agencies, of which the building you have been inside of is our headquarters. And I have been the CEO, standing CEO, since I arrived in the States. So.
So that one, Mark... Oh, sorry, more robot voice. That one, Mark Bauer, is king?
No. Not king. Very specifically not that. A CEO is kind of like a person who, lack of a better term, I am the face of the company, but all of the decision making actually comes down to my, board members. My 3 directors do a lot of the work. Bind does a lot of the acting work for me, constantly out on job. They have been very, very useful. But no, I like to think of myself not as a king. Very specifically not that for many reasons. But I am kind of the boss, if you will. Most people do answer to me, report back to me, and we just run things. I don't think I've seen myself as a king because Klein does not run everything about the city. The city is run by the people, and the people, work for what they want, they advocate for what they want, and the city responds.
This one, understand. Mark Bauer, Bind boss. Bind is Nixie boss.
Sort of, yeah. Nixie technically responds to Gizmo, which responds to not directly Bind, and actually Director Craig, but
they're just trying to figure out boss. What does boss mean? They're like
as Bind will actually speak up, waiting for Bowers to finish and then speaks up. It is like somebody that controls your way of life. They can decide decisions that are major and fundamental to you existing, such as how I was in charge of deciding whether you got a body or not. And so
Bind is this one's boss.
For now, it will likely add some steps in between. But yes, it's somebody who can make a lot of decisions about your life and oftentimes could be good or bad. So you seek to do well by them, though you don't have to.
I think that they want to immediately turn and ask Mark Bauer, are you good or bad?
You can.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so I think because I don't think that they would think to not do that, or be like, that could be detrimental to you. So, they listened intently to Bind and immediately turn, and just totally, like, pleasantly, happily, that one, good or bad? As they point at Mark Bauer.
Me? I'd like to think I do good for the city. I really do try to. There's a lot that I could do better. There are a number of criticisms about the city that I'm certain you could read about, but ultimately I think that statistics and the emotions of my people show a lot better than what some critics might say.
This one is pleased. This one would like to do good.
That is what Bind has been telling me, that you are a very empathetic individual who likes to help people and is upset when you hurt them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Perfect. It is my hope that I really wanted to meet you, by the way. I have heard a lot of good things from Bind about you. Not to mention, I think you would be perfect to join Climb. That's exactly what we do here. We seek to help people in their day-to-day lives. You know, small things, big things. We like to keep them safe, both medically. We put a lot of funding into technology and research, particularly in the medical field, but also enhancements, prosthetics to help people live their lives who may not be able to be on the same level as some of us. We also do a number of other things. We help people with things that they need to do around the city. We improve the city. A lot of our funding goes into, for example, we have a new project. We're going to implement a new train system to help people get across the city faster. Public transit and the sort, keeping the city clean, that kind of stuff, and just helping them with whatever they need. We have heroes that Klein Agencies hires and sends out to help people with whatever tasks they might need help with. And if that's something interesting to you, I was hoping we could onboard you with our hero division.
This one is pleased.
Perfect.
They
now,
flash back to the memory of the soldier of like, yes, I want to be a hero. Yeah. That's good.
As he continues speaking, that's perfect. So we do want to onboard you to the hero side at some point. There's a little caveat, which is to say that we don't think that you have the experience with humans enough to be able to appropriately interact with them. Not to say that you'll do anything bad, but we want to ensure that our heroes have the way to speak to other individuals as they would like to hear. So, we don't want to keep you off of the streets for too long. We want you in the action. Our current idea is that we're going to assign you a supervillain agent, and you will get to meet some of our villains. Our villains, despite their names, I know it might sound a little weird, actually do good as well. They are the ones who aid our heroes into helping the city be better.
Bind did explain villains, heroes too.
Perfect. Yes, that's what we do here. That's how Klein differs from a lot of the other big hero organizations, which I have been told that you're probably not familiar of. But with due time, I'm sure you will learn a lot. But the idea is that we, in Klein, or in Marcainne specifically, have actual criminals, actual evil people who want evil things to happen, or just selfish people who want to do selfish things that might affect others negatively. It is our hope that we can get those people and disencourage them from doing that by providing opportunities for people to become supervillains in a performative way to, you know, help the city.
Yes, this one understands.
Perfect. Wonderful. So, we will, there are a number of people who are wanting to be meeting with you. We actually are going to a board meeting after this, where you will split off and meet with some of them. There you will meet my 3 directors, as well as some members of the 6, and then after that, we will probably look into, Bind tells me that there are some things that you need for your body. We'll figure out about that, and then probably get you to meeting an agent sometime soon. Also doing some vague, physical testing with your new body. Sound good?
Yes, this one is pleased.
Perfect. Any questions?
None.
Wonderful. Okay, as he pushes back his chair, he stands up and he goes, follow me to the meeting room, as he walks towards the door and opens it up and holds it open for you.
Is Bind coming with us?
Yeah, Bind floats after you guys.
I think if they can walk next to Bind,
yeah.
I think they would try to whisper.
Okay, yeah. I love the idea of you try to whisper and then it's just not whispering at all. Yeah.
So they're trying to whisper to say, this one is popular, but nervous. So many people? So many human.
It is a lot, especially on your first day. I think you will be fine, though. Having a mask makes it a lot easier.
I think they really internalize that.
Yeah.
I think they're like, wow, okay, no one can tell I'm nervous?
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah, so they're like, okay, there's power in that. I can
You
do
and
it.
Binder are so similar. I love it so much. You are led by Mark Bauer this time, not Bind. You and Bind are side by side. Through another...
Is he respectfully pretending to not hear me? As I'm talking about how nervous I am.
It seems like he is, at least.
I don't realize that I'm not whispering.
It's so funny. As you guys are brought into a large boardroom, there's this large oval, wooden table that sits out in front of you guys. Very nice office chairs that surround it, and there is a lot of people in here.
No.
So the entire right side of this office room meeting is on the exterior of the skyscraper, so you can see down the city from that end. The rest of it has holotech material on the edge, as it's currently just displaying the Klein logo, but one of them's open to like a PC background, basically. And there are a number of people in here. You see Mark Bauer sits at the end of one of the tables, and you see next to him there sits 3 people. There is immediately next to him a individual who is a elderly woman. She looks to me appear maybe upper 50s, maybe 60s even. She has pale white skin, foundation across her face that doesn't cover up the wrinkles well enough that like point at the edge of her eyes and cheeks. Slightly sunken in cheeks, she has this very nice pink tinted lip shade on. Makeup on her body. Her hair is white from age. You've seen this before in humans. And is up in a pristine bun on top of her head. She wears a necklace of pearls around her neck. She has a very, very nice business suit jacket and business skirt that goes to just below her knees. That's a nice pearl pink color. And matching heels that are very tall and like stiletto heels. As she is sat down here, both of her hands on one knee of her legs that are crossed. To the other side of Bauer is a man who is constantly smiling. You do not see him not smiling ever. He has a pale white skin, short, spiky almost up on top of his head, brown hair, a very nice suit, slightly darker than Bauer's, but similar, accented in blacks. And he's just very tall, very long. I know that Wanderer has an issue with face blindness, but for your reference, like, he looks almost like stretched out a little bit. Like, he's like that lanky. And then next to him is this massive individual. He's just wide built, and they are in some kind of super suit. You see a man who has a black suit, very wide, maybe 6'4" but well over 6 foot. A super suit that holds tight to the head so it doesn't show off any hair, but does show off this nasty gash that has left like the top part of the lip and the nose cut open wide. So when he speaks, you're just looking like beyond the skull almost. His suit is black and this like ochre sandish color. With a matching sand tie. The suit is black and it is a triangle, like upside down triangle on his face that forms almost like an hourglass with the tie in his face. Also in this room are 5 other, or I guess 4 other individuals. Bind would be one of them. Is Yusi, floating and then sitting herself down until she walks to one of the seats and grabs it and pulls over. Is almost a cheerleader type superhero outfit. She wears whites, blues, and yellows. She has dark brown skin. She has these freckles across her body and her cheeks, and these golden, almost like radiant eyes that kind of glow with energy. Her hair is this thick, black, luscious hair that like falls back almost like an actress's over her right shoulder. As she sits down with like an annoyed look on her face. There is walking into this room after you guys a man white skin, freckles across his face, darker hair that's kind of shaggy, but trying to be like well kempt and slit back. He wears a super suit, but around outside of that there is this not quite mech suit, not quite cyber suit. It has some like the industrial like little like pneumatic bars and stuff across him that pulls himself into here. As he walks into here, you see in addition, he's already sitting down at one of the seats making discussion with one of the three at the head of the table, is a man in a jade green suit. It kind of sparkles and shimmers. He has this holographic cape that pours down the back of him. He has very nice, well-groomed, like short-kept facial hair and stubble, brown hair that falls back, almost like a little bit long, like the men's popular cut of the season. He is well built, though not nearly as massive as like the sand hourglass guy. And he's covered entirely in jade. And I believe there's just one more. As the last person to arrive, as you were told to sit down, Bind does not sit down at the table. Bind is the only one who does not sit down at the table. Bind just pulls out a chair for you and gestures for you to sit down a place as they go over and they hover over next to Bauer. The last person who walks in the room is an older woman, not quite as old as the lady with the pearl necklace. She's maybe older 30s, maybe 40 or so. She has dark brown almost to black hair that falls down over her body almost to her shoulders, wavy. She wears a scientist coat, a lab coat. She has thin framed glasses on her face as she steps in and sits down on the opposite end of the table. As this entire board meeting has like been filled. The table still has a lot of indie spots, but the room is so much bigger now. And like with each person that's like in as they're talking, you're just like, oh. As Mark Bauer speaks up as he goes, all right. So we have a lot of things to talk about today. First thing in order is the new person at the table. Wanderer, if you'd like to introduce yourself. If not, I can do it for you.
They try to stand up,
yeah.
like do their best to stand up at the table and like look as presentable, because these people are all very, like, in their experience, they look like they're all kings.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
So,
yep.
So
it does.
They're just like, I don't know, kings can be kind of iffy sometimes.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so they just are like, while they're trying to figure out the difference and nuance and how it's different right now, they're like, these are all kings. And so they stand up and they stand very prim proper and they say, this one has no name, but has chosen the moniker Wanderer. This one is friendly. And they leave it.
As he goes, thank you.
And they sit back down.
Sit down. Yes. Wonderful. As you guys know, I sent Bind northward to go investigate the incidents that were happening northward, and it turns out that our friend, Wanderer, seems to be the culprit. We are working with Wanderer to figure out what they are, and it is my personal hope that Tarragonal, as he gestures to the lab coat person, and then, and by the way, she is built for a scientist. She's not like a meek, like lanky. She's kind of just massive.
I love
yeah.
I'm adding that to my notes.
Yeah, she isn't super tall. She just she works out. As he just your Tarragonal, you've worked on her suit. Their suit. Is my hope that you continue working with them if we need you. As she just kind of like raises her hand and gestures outwards. And he looks over at you. And in addition, Liam, I was hoping that you could, as he looks up to the guy in the jade like shimmery suit. I was hoping that you could maybe investigate any possible sources of magic with this one. We have heard from Bind that they seem to have a very unique way that they go about the world. Due to their talks with Bind, we believe that the nature of their abilities is extraterrestrial, which we are doing some research in, but since our department's on alien activity is not the greatest, we're going to do our best to get a magic read on them. As the man nods. As he continues talking. And for a while, they are just talking about a number of things that go way over your head. It's just business.
I think they, they're really enjoying it because they enjoy anything, like anything new, but also eventually they're using so many words that they don't understand, that they just don't know what's going on anymore. Mm-hmm. And so at that point, that's when they're looking out the window, just fully phasing out, essentially just looking back out the window and enjoying this new place, this new city, and beginning to maybe feel like a little bit of a new home. Yeah. Like, this is maybe the most comfortable they've ever been. Also, the first time they've been somewhere for a long time. Yeah. In a while, because they've just been leaving after the host dies, obviously. Yeah. So, like... Yeah.
I like the description that you gave for it. Like, it looks like a table of kings. And that is kind of continued in your experience as they talk. A lot of them... So, you initially had called Bauer a king, and you know how people... Like, you've spoken to kings before. Mm-hmm. You know how people interact with that. You know that they are very respectful, very courteous. Something that you've kind of learned to do.
They're trying their best.
And the three that are next to him are very much like that. Bind has a little bit more independence than those three, but still doesn't speak when he's speaking and doesn't order him to do anything. He orders Bind a lot. But you notice that the other four individuals in the room are not like that at all. In fact, they just kind of fucking talk whenever. They openly, like, scoff and make comments. Everyone seemingly at the table is pissed that a guy named Ultraman is not here. That seems to be the consistent thing throughout the meeting.
We hate Ultraman, got it.
As they make a bunch of fucking jokes about him. And eventually the meeting disperses as Bauer starts having some conversations with the man next to him, and Bind eventually floats up over to you. This is some of the, as you would call, leaders or higher-ups in Klein. If there was somebody you'd like to meet or talk to, you could. The ones I would recommend first, obviously, were pointed out to you. Dr. Terragonal. Yeah. And you can write down the name Dr. Terragonal. That's...
I wrote Terragonal.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Dr. Terragonal is the leading scientist behind your body. She is very intelligent and has created a number of devices and machinery for Klein. She also happens to be a part of the Six. That is what most of us in this room belong to. I am the first member of the Six. The second member is Ultraman. He's currently not here. The third is Lady Lightspeed, as she gestures over to the dark brown skinned woman with the cheerleader-like superhero outfit. The fourth is Dr. Terragonal, as she gestures to the one with the lab coat. The fifth is Jade Emperor, as she gestures to the man that was called Liam beforehand, the guy with the jade shimmery suit. And the last, most newest member is Strikes. As she gestures over to the man with, like, the Marcainne mecha suit, like, kind of
the
around
massive 6'4" guy?
No. That guy actually isn't pointed out to be on the Six at all.
The well-kept shaggy guy with mech suit?
Yeah, with mech suit.
What was his name?
Strikes. With a Y. Yeah.
And he was the sixth member. Mm-hmm. So I missed...
I know, I'm throwing a lot of names at you. The second is Ultraman. He did not show up.
Oh, Ultraman, who did not show up. So it's first is Bind, then... Okay.
Ultraman, then Lady Lightspeed, then Dr. Terragonal, then Jade Emperor, then Strikes.
Perfect. So I have on... So the massive 6'4" guy, the constantly smiling man, and the elderly lady who looks very, very nicely dressed.
Yes.
I shouldn't say looks very, very
nicely dressed.
Looks nicely dressed. Mm-hmm. I'm not aware of their names. Like, Wanderer does not know their names. Okay.
Yeah, Bind hasn't said them. If you want to ask, you can.
I think they would. They're just so curious and, like, distracted by the shininess of the pearl necklace and everything. And it's like, as Bind is explaining who they are, they would... kind of start to gesture and then be like, wait, that's too obvious. And say, which are those ones?
As you probably notice, those of us with supersuits often, but not always, we do hero work. That is the kind of work that you will be doing. The three of them, as well as Bowers, Bind gestures up to the four of them, represent a different side of Klein, the business side. That is Director Craig. Julia Craig. She gestures to the lady with the pearl necklace.
Is that E or it's K-R-E?
Krake. Craig. Director Craig. Julia Craig.
I was hearing Krieg for some reason.
Yeah. The other one, as they gesture to the man who looks stretched out, this is Brandon Oxford. Director Brandon Oxford. I'll actually have to check that, by the way. It might not be Oxford. I think it's actually Oxwell.
It'd be funny if I just call him the wrong name all the time.
It's also not Brandon. I got it wrong. It's Braydon. So Braydon and then Oxwell. Oxwell.
Braydon Oxwell.
Director Braydon Oxwell. And director Julia Craig.
Oh, they're all directors. Nice.
And the last one is also a director, though most just call him Sandman.
Director Sandman. Got it.
Yep.
Think bind.
Yes. I would recommend talking to them briefly, if you'd like to introduce yourself. Two of them... Director Oxwell is very friendly. The other two are very busy, though they're all busy. So are the 5, like Vine says flatly, of us. But if you would like to talk to anyone, you can.
This one is curious. This one, not bad? Not bad to question? That one's so busy.
I think you will be fine, as long as...
Immediately they start walking over.
As mine goes, as long as... And they're about to say is none of them leaves. As immediately, Strikes is like, okay, I gotta go, something to do. As he's out the door with his super suit. Yeah.
That's fine. I think that, once they got the okay, because they trust at least Bind knows what's going on, and so they're like, they would always love to ask a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they would immediately take off to probably Julia Craig, even though they said that she's not friendly. I think it's the pearls, and I think they know that pearls can kind of have many colors, and so they maybe find pearls as a comforting thing, or like an opal, anything gemmy where it's you shine a light on it and it looks different.
Most of the heroes now have gotten and stood up. Even Sandman is pulled up and he is stacking his papers, though he is seemingly listening to the conversation that the 4 of them are currently in. Braydon and Bauer are currently talking to each other, and Craig is just kind of listening in, so is Sandman. As Julia is listening to their conversation, she does not look at you when you approach at all, before she goes, yes.
This one is Wanderer, and this one hoped to ask a question.
She finally now looks up to you, as she kind of looks at your body, and she goes, I see, they gave you the standard android body. I honestly thought with how Bind was talking about you that they were going to go with something a bit more ostentatious, though I imagine they will when they get you on the field. My name is Director Julia Craig. Wonderful to meet you.
This one is equally pleased.
Wonderful. Well, I hope you do well and that you aren't a unnecessary risk on the side of hero things. I'm just happy I don't have to be handling you for the time being.
I think they're confused. They don't know what that means. They're just like, okay. Yep. So they just they go into their question, which is that one. Director Julia Craig is clearly powerful. How can Wanderer be like Director Julia Craig?
Is this to Bind? Yeah.
No, to Julia Craig.
To Julia Craig? Oh my god.
They're like, okay, you clearly have it going on. How do I be like, because they're like, well, I'm going to be here a while. I need to think, they are clearly someone that I should, if I'm like them.
Aspire to
Yeah, I'm aspiring to be like Julia Craig.
She kind of like does that little like half like rich person laugh. Interesting. Well, I run a tight ship, and I ensure that we always have the most best of standards here at Klein. And I think statistics and results go a very, very long way. I realize that you probably aren't familiar with how everything run. My official title is Director of Heroes. I ensure that everything on our hero end goes, if not according to goal, has good results. So I would say good results. I focus on the outcomes of things.
This one appreciates that one's time.
Mm-hmm. It was wonderful to have you in a meeting with us. I doubt they will be doing it more, but if you have any issues after you get assigned to hero work, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you. Or sorry, thank. I instead of saying thank you, I think they say like thank and then like the name or thank that one or something like that. So, do you think that they would use the name here? Because like I guess like, do you think the Wanderer has the idea that they view their names as important, or like
like Julia Craig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like they just kind of been saying Director Julia Craig the entire time instead of like that.
The way other people have been referring to her is Director Craig. You notice that they will not drop the director part, but they also won't say the Julia part.
Okay, so I think that they'll just say thank Director
Craig.
Craig then instead of like thank you. They're like thank Director Craig.
Mm-hmm. As she pays back attention to the conversation. Who else would you like to talk to?
So you said that the really smiley guy, Brayden, he's currently being talked to.
Yeah, him and Bauer are currently in a conversation.
Okay, and Strike's left, but Sandman, Lady Lightspeed, and Jade Emperor. Okay, I think I actually want to go talk to the Jade Emperor.
Yeah, sure thing.
Because, well, let's go talk to Jade Emperor, because Wanderer, like, I'm going through, like, Wanderer's things in my head where it's like, they really want to thank Dr. Terragonal for the body, and be like, this is amazing, I've never had control before, but, like, also they're so distracted by shiny stuff.
I love it. That's so funny. That's peak reasoning for choosing who you're choosing. And the fact that it leads you to Director Craig followed by Emperor is so funny to me.
Yeah, so, like, they just keep trying to go to Dr. Terragonal and getting distracted by something else. So they go over to the Jade Emperor, please.
Yeah. As you walk over there, as he looks over to you, he addresses you first as he goes, Wanderer, was it?
Yes, correct.
I see. Wonderful to meet you. My name is Liam Davis, former archaeologist, as he puts his hand forward to handshake.
They put up the high five.
Don't worry about it, I'll be fine. As he goes to grab your hand, as you squeeze around, and he goes, grip, as jade, like, dust will, like, off of his body, and, like, force your hand to, like, part a little bit, as he, like, successfully semi-shakes your hand, as he pulls back.
Apologies, too rough. First handshake.
No worries. Not a worries at all. I figured that you would probably have some struggle getting used to the body. I am actually really excited to talk to you. We have had some updates from the tech office, and I'm kind of curious. I've been told to do a thorough magic investigation on you, since Sorcerer's Stone thought it was beneath her. So.
This one is happy to find out more about this one.
Yeah?
This one learns often, but not about this one.
Word in the tower is that you are an alien.
Does he, like, lead in?
Yeah.
This one, alien means not from here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but you're also sort of pseudo-robot right now, so we'll see about that. I don't know if either of those, alien or tech, if you happen to be one of them, is in my jurisdiction. I do magic. So if you are summoned from, I guess technically could be an alien, if you're summoned from a different universe, could be. If you're an artificial intelligence, though probably not. So I will do my best to figure out what we can about your powers as a functioning artificial intelligence right now. We'll see. I imagine we'll figure out things just well enough. But I will have you probably stop by. It would be better if I had you at the manor. I'll probably do some investigations here. If we need more thorough investigations, I'll bring you back to where I usually do my work at. But I'll get that scheduled with you at some point.
Is magic like bind?
That is a fantastic question that I have been wanting to know since I've met them.
This one is not sure of magic, but this one will do any tests.
Perfect. Wonderful. I will go ahead and figure out, I don't know where they're putting you right now, but we'll go ahead and get it on your schedule, and somebody will tell you that's not me at some point. Anyways, I have to go out.
This one is pleased to make Jade Emperor acquaintance. Liam Davis?
Mm-hmm.
Liam Davis.
Yeah, you can call me either one.
They just use every word that they heard to describe someone, like
Jade Emperor Liam Davis.
Yeah, Jade Emperor Liam Davis.
Yeah.
The Jade Emperor Liam Davis.
Unlike most of them, I usually don't mind going by my first name. In fact, I'd like the archaeologist point to be first, but superhero stuff is what I do now. So, it was wonderful to meet you. As he will into jade dust as he just disappears.
Everyone here's so cool.
You're kind of at the top.
I am. I'm accidentally meeting. It's gonna be such a harsh decline where I'm meeting all these really cool, sick people, and then I'm about to just go like. So you can like make that into a puddle? That's cool.
It's awesome. That's awesome. That one guy could just disappear.
Yeah, he turned into like really expensive dust. Like, he's got infinite money.
Yeah. Who else would you like to talk to?
Okay, and then I think I will actually finally make it to Dr. Tarragonal.
Yeah.
Because I think they were next to each other, right? Mm-hmm. Or maybe they were just being described as that way. But
yeah.
So I imagine like as he disappears, they finally are just like, ah, yes, my original goal. Yeah. As they try to approach Dr. Tarragonal.
Yeah, and Dr. Tarragonal is currently sat between him and Lady Lightspeed. As she looks up to you. Past her glasses, they're thick framed, thin wires. As she looks up.
This one appreciates the work on the body.
I'm surprised you're here.
What? Why?
Not like in the office. I mean, I'm surprised that you're alive. I didn't think it was gonna work.
What? Why? They just like to play it exactly the same way.
Because there's a lot of unknowns about you.
This one does not know much about this one, but this one is happy to share.
Machining is not one of my strongest suits, though I can figure it out easy enough. I would imagine that body should be good to last you for a while, though I am concerned that even its capacity, your intelligence will be too much for it to handle at some point.
And this one will need new body? Can Dr. Tarragonal help?
Perhaps. Look, it's in my job description, so yes.
Yikes. Okay. I think that makes them incredibly nervous, but at least they got a yes.
Yep.
So I think they don't want to ruin Dr. Tarragonal's opinion of them. And so it's like, you're clearly ready to be done with this conversation. I think that they're aware of that. So they give like a nod and say, thank Dr. Tarragonal. And essentially like politely excuse themselves.
Before you can excuse yourself, the woman sitting next to her, Lady Lightspeed, speaks up and goes, "It's thank you. That's how you say it. And you also don't have to say their name. You're kind of funny. Also, she's a bitch to everyone. Don't worry about it. As Tarragona flips her off. As Lightspeed will stand up and walk up to you. She's got like the like high rise, so like all of her thighs are showing off. You know, like the leotard that cheerleaders usually wear.
Yeah.
She has a small capelet in the back that like barely goes over her ass, and like the small half cape on her shoulders. As she walks up and holds out a hand. Nice to meet you.
That one has super strength?
No, you're right. Probably bad idea.
They go for the high five.
There we go. As they clap for your hand. All right, so I don't know too much about this whole thing. I heard some stuff about what the others said about you. But anyways, if you're going to be doing villain work, just I'm sorry if it's too high up.
This one doesn't understand.
Basically, if you're really good at beating the shit out of heroes and you have to go against one of us 6, particularly me, I'm sorry if I fry your ass.
This one appreciates that?
Yeah, don't worry. If I fry you out of commission, I'll just make sure it's Dr. Tarragoni's problem. As she flips her off once again.
I think, yeah, I always called myself Liam. Wanderer, because I looked at it.
Oh, yeah.
Wanderer just has no idea how to perceive this lady.
Yup.
I can't tell if we're enemies or not. They just kind of make a non-committal noise because they're just like, I can't tell what's going on here.
Which speaking of, as she will kind of like put 2 hands on your shoulders and kind of like push you in a direction which you've never felt this before. Your body kind of responds.
It does
as
the
she
step back.
As she whispers to you. So, word in the tower is that you and Bind had kind of a thing going on. What does that mean? Bind doesn't act out of their. She like glances over to them. Personality a lot.
This one and Bind are friends.
Your friends?
This one thinks so.
Ah, I see. Okay. Well, does Bind act in any specific way? Like, what would you say the personality trait associated with them most is?
This one struggles to put into words. But that one understand. But mystery?
Okay, I guess this was normal. I think the rumors were gonna be cool. As she like completely disengages from you. She's gone as she starts talking with Tarragon all again.
I think the Wanderer is answering to the best of their ability, but also like has understood that Bind is a pretty private person.
Yep.
And so like they're being honest, but like they also
you got like the little like Bind will remember this thing.
I think it's like the like even the little amount of time they spent with Bind, they still are like. They want to be honest, but they're like, hey, some people are allowed secrets. Like, I don't gotta be saying stuff just because I know it.
Yeah. Character growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still calling everyone a king, though.
Yeah. Would you like to talk to anybody else?
I think I talked to everybody except is Bowers and
There's Bauer and Sandman.
Are they done talking?
Yeah. Sandman wasn't talking to them.
Oh, Sandman wasn't. That's right.
Yeah, you haven't talked to Bauer, Sandman, or Braden. Technically, you're talking to Bauer before this, but
I think. I'll go chat with Sandman then if the other 2 are still talking.
Okay.
And
Sandman, would you like to approach the table? So I don't play Sandman, so I had Eli up here. Oh my god, he's so excited for Sandman. Toby's just so happy. Yeah, so Sandman is currently at the director's office. They're in a board meeting, which is supposed to include the top 3 directors, Bauer and the 6, but of course Ultraman didn't fucking show up, and that was kind of the shit show of today's session, is that he didn't fucking show up. In addition, there is somebody else at the meeting, somebody who calls himself Wanderer. There were a series of undocumented deaths between the USA and Canadian border that's kind of near Marcainne, and so Bind was sent to go find out, because it's technically outside of city jurisdiction, but yike. This happened a month ago. And then for a month, Bind has been working on something. And it turns out that with Gizmo and Dr. Tarragonal, there has been a body made for this intelligence that they have found in the woods to keep it safe. And so this robot walks up to you. And that's kind of the idea. If you need any more context, let me know. But
Understood.
as they walk up to you.
Yeah. Did Sandman get a description?
Of like the whole situation.
Visually.
Oh, I did, but you feel free to re-describe
love it.
your character.
I'm short on time, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Rain has already been described him.
Yeah, you got that fucked up mouth thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Suit can't hide that. It could, but you don't let it.
I don't.
Part of the prestige.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the type to talk first as approached?
Kind of just standing there. I imagine he was working on some paperwork at his desk, sees you approaching, and just full stands up. Hello.
I am so
You've
small.
been shaking hands.
It's really, really hard grip.
Yeah. You feel the muscles in his hands flex as he matches your grip.
Okay, I appreciate it.
This robot before you is about 5'4".
Yeah. I'm so small.
It's lithe, but you know it's heavy based on like what it's made out of. It's very simplistic. It's one color, base plate. Yeah.
It's
base
got some
plate.
eyes, like vaguely like where eyes would be, and then nothing else for the face.
Mhm.
I'm very, very bland.
Wonderful.
This one is Wanderer. It's very like robotic sounding voice as it comes out.
Yeah, I heard. I'm Sandman. Please address me as such. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm unsure if you'll be under my jurisdiction at this point. I'm sure if you are, we'll get to know each other very well. If not, you likely won't see much of me.
This one is equally pleased to meet Sandman. This one will be villain for short time, but villains are heroes too.
Understood. Then you will likely hear a bit more from me for said short time. Though, more than likely, I'll just oversee your initial goings-on, figure out who best to assign you under.
As Julia speaks up, just ensure that if you're going to send it to me, it's not in disrepair.
Never the intent. You know I can't make that promise.
Okay, I suspect the villain side's going to take good care of it then.
As good of care as I can keep, yes.
Yeah.
This one will focus on outcomes.
Good.
Good.
I was just told by
Yeah.
Julie and Kate. I was like, how do I grow up to be you? Essentially, how do I become more like you? You're powerful. You clearly got going on. And she was like, outcomes.
Outcome.
That's a good mentality to have. My best advice, make sure you understand your goals first and foremost, and who you're working with.
What is Sandman's goals?
Brayden exits out of the conversation with Bowery and goes, okay, we'll see you next meeting. As he turns to you, hey, hi, sorry, did I interrupt? Didn't mean to.
You're fine. You asked me a question.
What are Sandman's goals?
Those have changed a lot throughout the years.
Yes, currently it's managing the villain side of things. Keeping things in check, making sure people are behaving as they should be, and where they need to be when they need to be.
This one sees Sandman is Villain King.
Not the term used is director.
Apologies.
It's alright.
I do keep be calling people kings.
Yeah. That's a flashback to
That's not what I
Marcainne.
was
Yeah.
expecting.
As Braden speaks up. Nice to meet you. My name is Director Braden Oxwell. I can't do that. I will die. There we go, as he high fives. Alright, yeah, this is
two people.
Director Sandman. You could just call him Sandman. He likes it. Pretty much nobody else can call him what they want except for Bauer. He is our head of supervillainy. This is Director Craig, our head of heroes. She does all of the directing on that side of things. And my name is Director Braden Oxwell. I am in charge of, well, just about everything Klein related, mostly on the PR side of things. I keep our image looking good and our, politics going well, especially with the current presidency and everything. So, I'm sure that means not too much to you, but it is my hope that you get integrated. We probably won't be speaking very much, but, I'm hoping it works out well. So, yeah.
This one understands PR as company friendship?
Company friendship is a good way to look at it. No, I don't really think it's friendship, because friendship means that you actually have to like the people you're hanging out with, and here, I don't require that any of us like hanging out with each other, just that we have a good image and positive mental attitude about it, so.
How would this one give good image? This one, not many friends.
Mm-hmm. Well, the robot voice is going to be a little bit hard with it, but I think the more you interact with people, the better you're going to get at it. The villain side of things can kind of make a little bit of a weirdos. Is that a good way to put it, Sandman? They tend to be a bit weird anyways. But I'm sure if we get you talking to some actual heroes, especially ones good in front of the cameras, you'll be getting good at it in no time.
This one read on internet that smoothies are a good way to make human friends.
Smoothies are a fantastic way to meet. She would love Brackets, by the way. We need to get you to meet Brackets. He's a smoothie kind of guy. He's been really into it recently. Anyways, I think so.
Writes down, put tummy blender in your body. It's on my character sheet. RP only, tummy blender.
RP only tummy blender. I would hate the combat tummy blender.
The combat tummy
Give me
blender.
a hand.
I do have some extra points, so we'll find out.
Oh
Maybe I
god.
need it.
The combat
Amazing.
tummy
Amazing.
blender. As he looks to you. Alright, well, I'm sure those two are very busy. I have a meeting after this, but we're glad to have you on, Wanderer. I think you're gonna do great things.
They truly believe he means that.
Yep.
I don't know if he does, but they fully are like, yes. Okay. These people believe in me.
Yeah.
I think they're just like, I think I've talked to pretty much everybody, so unless Bauer wants to talk, I think they would just kind of quietly stand
they're all
off
like
to the side
dispersing
until Bind tells them to leave, essentially.
As Bind nearly follows Bauer out of the room before they go, I'm going to figure out how to best fit Wanderer into everything. As Bauer goes, as he heads out, and each just now you and Bind left in the room. As, thank you, Eli, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Hannah.
Sorry to make you late. Hannah can deal with it.
Hannah's fault. Hannah's problem we're at, like.
Yeah. I was gonna say Hannah's fault. What did Hannah do? She's at work.
Blame Hannah.
Maybe she shouldn't have gone to work.
She
She wanted to pick up. Yeah, I think the Wanderer is, like, understands more, but also, like, is so much more confused. I imagine, like, their body did have capacity for them to, like, grow, but they're just growing so much faster than anyone thought they would with all of the new things they're being, like, exposed to.
I think the rapid evolution of humans has caused it to spiral out of control. Yeah.
I think I've essentially, I'm just learning so much. Like, the next time I go out of my body at the big room or whatever, I'm like, I actually barely fit in this room. Hang on.
Yeah.
Turns out these walls are airtight.
That's so funny. As now it's just you and Bind left in the room. He goes, how was that?
This one, like, the robot body just kind of collapses into a chair. Just, like, immediate, like,
Exhausted.
Yes, this one tried to make good impression, but directors very scary.
They are very scary. I would contain that philosophy for your entire time here with us.
Did this one do okay?
You seem very concerned with my opinions on how you did.
This one would hate Bind to suffer because of the Wanderer.
I see. You don't have to worry about me. Just make sure that the stuff that you've seen in my head stays a secret.
Yes, this one knows Bind is mysterious. It's cool. This one was asked questions by the one called Lady Lightspeed. They're pausing a lot because they are accessing so much information at once, trying to remember all of it. She asked for secrets. This one did not give secrets.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Lady Lightspeed is a, how you would say, gossip. They all are, though.
This one wasn't sure if they liked this one, but that's okay. This one, suppose.
You weren't sure if you like her or me.
If this one likes her.
I see. Well, those are decisions you can make on your own. As Director Oxwell so graciously put it, you don't have to like any of them. After all, I'm blind. I don't like any of them. Or hate any of them. They simply are.
This one has never made opinions. This one usually has host with thoughts and feelings about experiences.
Mm-hmm.
This one is alone in this body. This one is getting used to it.
I see. Perhaps it is the fact that you did experience emotions, but could not tell because they were oversaturated with another's. So now you are seeing what that feels like alone for the first time.
Bind is probably right. Is Bind busy?
Bind is always busy, but I don't have to be.
This one was wondering if this one and that one could walk outside?
Yes. Is there somewhere you would like to go in specific?
The lake.
The lake?
The lake that's one saw upstairs through the window. Or sorry, through the glass. I don't even think they know what a window is. It's like through the glass.
The one on the meridian.
Yes.
I should be able to transport you in this body, but would you still prefer to walk?
Yes.
Perhaps it is a good idea to get you accustomed to your legs. Okay. Yes.
I'm so happy! This little friendship date is so cute!
Yeah, as you guys, like, float down to the tower, and, like, a lot of people look at you guys, like, as you guys pass by, and, like, you're like, oh, this is so nerve-wracking. And I think as the point that you get to the out of the tower, you realize it's not you they're looking at. It's Bind. And this stays throughout the entire walk out of first into third. Where people are just like, it's Bind. And like a lot of people come up and they really want to take pictures.
They think I'm just like her robot servant.
Yup, yeah, literally. And everything. There's a lot of points. At some point, Bind just does put a rune in the air, and then nobody even looks at you guys past that.
I just can't see it.
As you guys eventually get to the meridian, and the sun is starting to set, as you see the beautiful coastline next to you guys. There's ferries out in the water, the bridge that leads into across the border to Canada, and it's busy out here. There's just a lot of people on like the fairgrounds, the mall grounds, and everything. There's a lot of shops and whatnot, parks and the sort and plazas. As Bind just floats beside you the entire time.
Will Bind's runes hide this one's real form?
Yes.
This one would like to see colors.
Of course.
And so they're super happy. Like, they're like, this is probably beautiful, but I can't enjoy it. And so, like, as soon as they're given the permission, they just kind of, like, I imagine it's actually really quick, weirdly enough, that they're essentially just like, oh, thank God, when you take off your coat or whatever when you get home. They essentially just, like, leap out of their body and just...
As you immediately grow to your massive form.
And just, like, take in all the colors.
Yeah.
And,
As you look
so
at
beautiful.
You look at the sea and it's beautiful, and there's sprinkles of colors on the ferries and the ships, and you look at the sunset and that's beautiful, but you turn around and it's the meridian that's filled with people and colors and emotions and everything. And it's just beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. As Bind looks over to you, they land on the ground, which you've not seen them do before, as they land on the ground. Bind's identity is supposed to remain a secret, but you already know mine. Do you mind?
No.
Yeah. As they will hold up their hand and a rune appears that you hadn't seen before, like it was invisible, as they break it, and you watch as their body into the visage of a young girl, maybe college age. She has dark white skin, she has Asian features, rounded eyes, black hair with like these neatly cut bangs and flat cut at the bottom to the back of her waist. She has a headband that goes over it. She wears a purple sweater for the colder months and just purple or black leggings and nice shoes as she looks over to you. Hi, my name is Amy Nakamura. Wonderful to meet you. And she kind of like leans forward.
I'm going to write this name down independently of anything else, so that way if anyone else sees my notes, they don't know who it is.
I am not originally from Marcainne. A lot of people who are from Marcainne are very proud to be from Marcainne. I'm still getting used to it. I'm actually from Tokyo in Japan. You probably don't know where that is. I could show you on a map. I moved here on a scholarship award, and I underwent training and a series of interviews / tests with some other people and ended up getting my spot as Bind.
And that one is very important.
Mm-hmm.
This one is thankful that Amy Nakamura trusts this one with secrets.
Of course. It's something that I'm not supposed to tell anyone. I will have to tell Bauer that you know now. He's like one of like the 3 people who knows, but and because Amy Nakamura is actually Bauer's secretary, so there's a good reason we can know each other too. So if you ever want to say that we know each other or have met, it can be because of that. I'm sure you'll see me in my secretary job too, and Bauer tries to keep me there about 1/4, 1/5 of the time that I'm working, so that people don't question things.
It would be suspicious to not have an assistant when you have an assistant.
Yeah, so it's wonderful to meet you. I'll actually be starting college pretty soon. First year.
They pause for a second, try to be like, do I know what college is?
No.
What is college?
Higher education. You know how humans send their kids to school? There's a sort of optional higher education that they could go to learn more things. I'm studying political sciences.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It is really fun.
What is political science?
Political sciences is, honestly, I think you would find it very interesting. How societies, people communicate, interact with each other, governments and the sort, politics and whatnot.
Can this one merge with Amy Nakamura and go to class?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yes. I think they're so happy. They're like, yes, I'm going to go to college.
Yeah. I start in the fall, so.
This one is so excited for the opportunities. Marcainne is scary, but there is so much more than this one has ever seen or heard of before.
There really is. Where I come from, people don't like mutants very much.
Mutants?
People who have powers because of the way that they were born.
Oh, humans. Yes, this one saw humans change. That one was the really the first one where humans couldn't used to do that.
Yeah, you're very old. I can't remember a lot of when we were merged because I had so many things up that get erased when they're not up. But yes, mutants are relatively new in human history, last 100 years or so. And people are very mixed on them. I didn't actually have the rune powers. That's kind of new. But I have the ability to memorize everything.
This one saw that.
Yeah.
That one remembers the same way this one does.
Yeah.
Then is Amy Nakamura a mutant?
I am, yeah.
Then Wanderer likes mutants.
Yeah. Luckily, I'm not, I don't have a physical mutation, so I could kind of hide it, so it wasn't the biggest deal where I came from. But when I got the chance to come here, Marcainne, by the way, as like Amy gestures out to the Meridian and the rest of the Marcainne, is known as the superpowered city. It's considered a safe haven for mutants and people who have powers and look different.
Safe haven is good.
Yeah.
Safe haven, the Wanderer, the Wanderer is excited to build here and protect Safe Haven.
I'm glad. I have similar feelings. It's not my city, and a lot of people care about it a lot because it is their city, but it's given me a lot, and I hope it can give you a lot too.
They look down at their body and do the moving the fingers again in appreciation.
Yeah, just like I got this, as Bind will draw a rune, or Amy more so will draw a rune, as the body morphs back onto them, as they float back up in the air gently. So, Bind does not have much care for Marcainne or other mortal life forms, but it's all an act.
This one understands. This one used to have actor host.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna name one, but then I was like, I don't know if I want one specific yet. We should talk about some potential. Yeah, this one will play part.
Mm-hmm.
Secrets safe with me, or with this one.
Wonderful. Now, would you like me to bring you back to the office of Gizmo? We can work on the color thing for your eyes.
Please.
Wonderful. Yeah. As you guys make your way back to the space, and the next month or so is spent working on getting a lot of the details up. A number of your sensors are worked better. They install a little bit of guidance systems that, like, when you think of, I want to like go over there and do that thing, I want to jump, and these systems be like, this is how you operate. Yeah,
I love that.
But they eventually give you eyes, and you can see color again.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Also, can I suggest that we have an obstacle course that I've been running to like learn how to move my body and make it more like dexterous and.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely. So the white rooms, you'll figure this out. The room that you were in can actually be controlled, and they're simulation rooms, like Bind had told you. Yeah, like you can make your own obstacle courses. It takes you a while to figure out how to do it. And the first time you did it, I think you like, because it's done with like kind of like your mind, you like completely shut down Klein Towers. Like you went, the whole towers were just down because you instantaneously fried it with all the overloaded data.
I tried to make 7,000 obstacle courses at the same time.
Yeah. As eventually you get to the point where you can make obstacle courses. And you start working on the robot body, and it's pretty durable, pretty dexterous. You fall to the ground, but you don't feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to get right back up and just try over and over again. It's kind of awesome. At some point, Nixie does receive her body back. She has a space gray chrome-esque body that has the similar, like, it's very obvious that she's related to Gizmo. It has the LEDs that go across it too, and these LED like eyes.
Cute.
Yeah. As the first time she gets to see you, she goes, "Hello, I am so happy to finally meet you as myself. Would you like a hug?
Do I have my eyes and like can see?
Yes, now you do. And you just
I
see
can still
bright
see.
yellow, like, happiness.
Cool. Yeah, I think they if this is past all the practices, then I think like Nixie.
Yeah.
And they just match their
As you
energy.
guys both hug.
They don't know how to do the close hug. Oh no, they do. They've hugged before. They know what a hug is.
Yeah, as you go ting ting ting. Yeah. As she pulls away, I am so happy to finally meet you as myself. I hope this means that we can go out sometime. As Gizmo speaks and goes, "You're not allowed to go out. You know that, Nixie." As Nixie goes, "Dang it."
Nixie, I'll sneak you out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm a villain. I'm allowed to do bad stuff.
True. And for a while, it's just like getting like your body figured out.
Yeah.
So that's your first month, and then your second month was spent doing that. Into the third month of your time here at Klein, you finally get approached to by Bind. You've stopped seeing them more and more, or you started seeing them less and less, I guess I should say. They eventually show up in the office one day as they look over at you. Wanderer, how are things going?
Bind! This one is so pleased to see that one. This one has so much to tell. And they essentially just essentially do exactly what they did whenever they would go home and like share all of their experiences. Where they're like way too detailed about some stuff, like for no reason. But at home they love that because there's no way they could see that themselves. So I think they just like go way too detailed about all the stuff they've been up to.
But I just lets you talk. They don't respond much, which is kind of weird. You're used to people being like very engaged. They eventually like, and when you tire out of your stuff, they go, "Wonderful. I am glad to see that you are getting along well. Klein Towers is not going to be like a second home to you anymore. Instead, we are going to be moving you to Ninth Ward. I'm going to be showing you the facility today. You're getting the equivalency of a dormitory."
Have we been to college yet, or is that?
Oh, no, she hasn't started it yet.
Okay, so
this is summer currently.
I feel like maybe she told me
timeline.
About the dormitory.
Dormitory
anyway, so I feel like maybe I still know what it is.
You haven't been to one, but you understand the concept.
talked.
Because I think Amy and you have hung out at least once.
I think Amy's super excited about college, and so she tells me all about it, and I'm just like, yes, it's going to be so cool.
I didn't know this was going to be a thing, and I'm so happy.
Me either. I love it.
I can't wait for you to figure out who Amy is. I'm so excited. Anyways, as I'm hoping maybe I can shoehorn her in next session somehow.
Yeah.
Anyways, you eventually are brought to the Ninth Ward facility. It's not tall skyscraper towers. Instead, it's actually way shorter, but much more massive. It's a complex. It's actually like multiple complexes just like put onto each other. It's these massive modern day like sleek buildings. They have large parking lots and a number of other buildings on the side of it. It's like a huge campus ground, really. As you guys walk in and you effectively move in. There isn't much but furniture in here because you don't have a lot of stuff. This is something that's been talked to you about possessions that you can have, and that's a really cool thing. But Bind does explain to you the dormitories.
I've requested a leather jacket. As soon as I found out I could have possessions,
Wait,
I'm like,
I have an idea.
Okay.
Yeah. You can do it if you want right now, but I feel like you get the idea.
No, that's okay.
Cool.
Let me help you.
As Bind speaks up, the dormitories are reserved for people with special circumstances inside of Marcainne. We don't usually have them for heroes unless they buy them out, but even then, we prefer our heroes to live in the city streets so that they can better preserve and protect people. The dormitories are usually reserved for people who have extraordinary circumstances, such as you. You will be resting here. Of course, I don't think you have to rest. But if you would like, you can here. It is also a chamber of privacy. There are no cameras here, you are not recorded, and if you would like to talk to anybody in private, you may. Yeah, cameras is something that Bind has been very insistent with you on. They were like, by the way, like, if you're in Klein Towers, they can see you. If you're outside of Klein Towers, they can probably see you.
I was gonna say, is it like, have I been given the vibe that there's like a lot of cameras all around Marcainne?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty much if you're outside of a building, people will definitely see you.
Yeah.
If you're inside a
There's
building,
also
they'll probably
something, notably for Rain's perspective, you've not been taken to the south of Marcainne a lot. At all. This is the most south you've been, and even then it's on the upper half of Marcainne. That is not the case for the lower half of Marcainne, aka 12th Ward, which is where most of them are from. And you'll notice the difference between that. I'll describe it when we get in game, but just for your reference. You've been kept on the nicer side of Marcainne.
Alright.
Yeah. As Vine looks around, you are not the only one who is currently staying in the dormitories, but there are very few of you. If you happen to see any of them, feel free to talk to them, but some of them are not the most friendly, as people who tend to be on the outside of special circumstances tend to be.
This one understands.
Mm-hmm.
Is this far from where Bind stays?
Bind does not stay anywhere, though you can often find me at the tower.
I think. Oh well, they said that there's no cameras, so does Wanderer know if it's like weird to call her Amy Nakamura if she's in Bind form?
Like, yeah.
Okay, well then let's say clarification. Is this far from where Amy Nakamura stays?
As Bind will break the rune as they turn back into Amy. You have a feeling that they do the breaking away when they do voices as a thing to help them not accidentally fuck it up when they're doing it. As she speaks up, actually, no, I live in these dormitories. But when I go to college, I'll be living there, so.
That makes sense. This one was just worried, since this one has seen Bind less and Amy Nakamura less, that moving would be too much distance. But this is good.
That reminds me of the other thing. As Amy will reach into her pockets as she pulls out a box.
They take it so gently.
Yeah. Do you think you've ever experienced like Christmas or birthdays or gift unwrapping?
I think maybe I've seen it. Because I think I've been in a lot of powerful people, so there's a lot of, like, tributary gifts. Yeah. I don't know if I've been part of too many, like, family gift-giving things. So I do think maybe, I'm glad you asked, I do think they may be more like, whoa, I'm not your king? Why are you giving me stuff?
Yeah, that's so funny. It's not, like, wrapped in, like Christmas wrapping or anything. It's just a box. And, like, me and you would recognize it as a box that has a phone inside of it. But, like, you have just been handed a cardboard box.
This is tribute. This is this one is not.
They reach into their pockets to pull out a phone. Okay, so this is how we usually communicate with each other. Bind doesn't need one because they can just talk to people in their heads. But so we can use it to talk to each other. If you open that up. Yeah, as you open up the box and there's a phone in it.
They actually do it really well.
It's just a black phone though. It just doesn't do anything. And you're like, it must be broken. As Amy goes, well, we'll get it set up for you. But essentially, there is this app that you can download called Buzz, and an app called Buzz Hero, where you'll be able to talk to Bind. You'll be listed in there as Wanderer. So you can talk to me anytime you want.
This one is so happy.
Of course, yeah. I am going to get really busy come school time, but I will do my best. I'll always respond to you, but actually going out and doing things.
This one understands. Plus, this one would love to help with homework.
Yeah.
Out of character, I don't think they'll know most of it, but I think they feel like they'll learn a lot. That's pretty cool.
I think it's really cool that you're excited for school. I am really excited for it too, but then again, school's always been easy for me, so I'm basically cheating.
That one can remember.
Yeah. As eventually you get set up in your dormitories. You get your phone set up and you figure out about the internet and apps and what a phone does. And sure enough, you send a message that has like Bind. It has like a profile picture and it has Bind. And you send them a message. And Amy gets it and she responds.
I love that. I really like the idea that I think in their free time, if they don't have like, because I'm imagining since people are visiting less, and Wanderer doesn't really have a job yet. They essentially just kind of like stand around where they are. Like they were at Klein Towers, they were doing obstacle courses because what else are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Whereas now that they're here and they don't really have like the can make obstacle course, they essentially just kind of left their body in their room and just traveled invisibly through the city to try and explore and like know, like kind of learn the city streets, because it's been pushed upon them, like especially since they just said it's important for heroes to like be in the streets so that they know, and like being a hero is important to Wanderers. So I think that they're really taking that into consideration and just trying to learn all the pathways and like, oh, if you cut through this side alley you get all the way to 3rd or whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I think that's what they'd be trying to do as their
cool. I think so. Yeah. During this time when you're kind of like exploring Ninth too, you also your phone is now where you get a lot of the information about what to do and where to go. And visually one day you were popped up of like, congratulations, your agent has been selected, new hero. It's very much like just like corporate like hero stuff. As they're like, please go to office blank inside of the 9th Ward facilities at this time. As you eventually end up getting there. And you make your way over to the office. It is a meeting room. It's not really an office space. Like, a person doesn't actually have an office here. It's a meeting room. And the meeting room is just a small table with a holographic device in the center that can be like used to create a display, and some chairs around it. And in here, there is just one person. You see what has got to be like one of the coolest people you've seen so far. They don't wear a superhero outfit. They have dark brown skin, a black and white racing jacket that's like kind of cropped at the midsection, a white shirt, and then black like baggy cargo pants, and like combat boots. Just kind of like a racing gear outfit. They have shaved hair on the sides of their head and a long black ponytail that falls down to like well below their waist. As they look up to you, these kind of bright eyes, as they look up to you. All right. Hey, my name is Agent Caleb Ellis, and you are Wanderer?
This one is Wanderer, correct?
Neat. Yeah. Wonderful to meet you. I am currently assigned to you. I am a villain agent. I do a lot of work with some of the bigger name villains here, due to your, let's say, unique abilities. Klein's higher-ups recommended you to me. So, I was hoping I could get to know you a little bit. I try to do pretty personable work with my villains.
This one is, has hero goals, but this one understands villains are heroes too. This one likes dogs and humans.
Dogs and humans. That's good. You met any other creatures? Just dogs?
Not that exist still.
Okay, well, a lover of dogs and humans is good. I deal with a lot of villains, those who do not like humans or dogs, and those who do like humans and dogs. I've dealt with pieces of shits and pricks and really genuinely great people who just maybe don't want to be in the camera light. So, the life of a villain, slightly bit different than a hero. You're going to be behind the scenes. You don't get any of the fame or the credit or any of that, but you do get all of the money, which is kind of nice. You occasionally have to do patrol work and make sure that you're getting a good aid to the city. My job is to hopefully be there on the field with you when you're out doing things, especially your big things. Our first thing is to find you a hero that you can rival with, that you team up well with. You're probably, though, going to be doing just background work for the most part. We have some ideas. Possession is very, very useful. It can be a good way to control certain aspects of the field that we usually can't control, aka the people. But other than that, what other powers do you think you have?
This one, I'm trying to say if they would like recognize their ability to emotionally manipulate people as a power.
I think so.
Okay, like
as you've gotten into the robot body, I think you've realized more and more that maybe you were pushing on a lot of emotions to people without realizing it.
This one is very emotional. This one can encourage others to feel that same.
Mm-hmm.
And do I have an arm cannon yet?
Yeah, probably.
And this one has arm cannon.
Okay. Well, that's a must need if you're going to be in a battlefield. Having some kind of form of self-defense is absolutely necessary. Though the ideal is that you probably don't use that very often. Unless we get you into an actual combat. In which case, if we do that, then different thing altogether. But I think, in regards to the emotion thing, very, very useful. We could use that a lot, actually. Making sure that civilians act in a way that is best for the cameras is ideal. Say, like, one of the civilians starts cursing out the cameras because they want their spot of fame type thing. But even then, helping people stop freaking out during a crisis or something of the sort, right? Giving people the energy to run away instead of freeze up, that kind of thing. Very, very helpful. Make sense?
Yes, this one understands.
Perfect. Okay, great. Then I'm going to kind of give you the basics. We'll probably go on a patrol together. I'll get you the stuff. Are you okay with this being your identity? Or would you like a super suit or...
This one likes this. This is Wanderer.
Okay, perfect. Just so you know, if you ever get to do actual villain work, like fighting a superhero in the, like, on the camera, you're not going to be able to walk around in this very much. But
They're just suddenly like, that's okay. Like, I'll just get another body, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get another body.
Yeah, true.
Also, if I don't think they think they'll be that famous. So I think they're just like, cool. Yeah. That's not going to be an issue.
All right. And as you head out with them, they show you a lot of really cool behind-the-scenes work of how everything does. Like, you were concerned about, like, what it actually meant to do this on the day-to-day. And you're kind of learning what that is. They teach you, like, a patrolling kind of regimen, and you learn very quickly that they have the ability to, when they touch themselves, turn invisible. They can't make anything else invisible, but they can be invisible, which I think you think is fantastic. You can still see them because you can see the color.
I get the aura.
Yeah. But other than that, like, it's really cool. Like, you actually, like, at one point, I think, like, shut off your color sensors.
And he's gone.
And
they're gone.
Yeah, they're just gone. Just disappear. Which is kind of cool. But yeah, no. Patrolling is really fun. They keep consistently calling it the boring part of the job, but, like, you think it's so cool because you're just out in the streets doing things, watching for things. You're literally meant to be looking for things. That's, like, the coolest thing you could ever do.
I'm getting paid, whatever that is, to do what I want to do.
Literally. And so that's pretty cool. They then go back and they show you a lot of, like, fights, like villain and superhero fights. And they show you, like, probably, like, the big stage ones. You see a number of those individuals that you saw in the room that day. You see Lady Lightspeed and Dr. Tarragonal. Lady Lightspeed is the ability to turn herself into, like a ball of plasma. And you're, like, so cool. You're like, is that what I look like?
Yeah.
And she fights with electricity powers and she flies in the midair. Jade Emperor has the ability to use magic powers. He usually summons, like, jade creatures or the sort. He can also lift up things with his energy and move it around. Dr. Tarragonal actually fights with these two massive gauntlets. And she has the ability, this is all described to you, superpowers are described to you by Caleb, and probably Bine and Amy at some point, of what everyone's powers were. She has the ability to, actually, I'll probably give you the rundown that Amy would have. Amy does not give you any rundown on her powers past what she said the day that she got the runes recently. Ultraman has the ability to absorb anything and reflect it back out. Lady Lightspeed has your general electricity kinesis and can turn into electricity. Tarragonal has the ability to completely decompose and recompose any kind of mineral. So rock, precious metals, precious gemstones.
Does that include my body?
Probably, yeah. And
Don't
she
make
can,
her mad, I see.
Yeah, she can remanufacture them into made-up minerals on an atomic level.
So
So
why was she complaining about making my body if it's
Yeah.
so easy?
yeah,
And also, why'd she make me such a
her-
shitty body if it's easy?
her 2 gauntlets are some kind of alloy that she has made up herself.
Cool.
That is supposedly really, really durable. Like stronger than diamond without the brittleness of it, right? I don't know if it's brittle or right for diamond, but you know what I mean. But yeah, Jade Emperor has a medallion, an amulet that he wears on his neck. That gives him the powers of the Jade Emperor at the cost of, if he goes unconscious with it on, he will be possessed by the Jade Emperor.
Like forever or temporarily?
Temporarily, until he's knocked unconscious again. In which case, Liam Davis takes back over.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, damn indeed.
Has, Wanderer would have asked, has that ever happened?
Yeah, Bind would have answered twice. And probably shown you some of the carnage. You see like the city in ruin. And you're like, oh, war.
So don't let that happen.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the idea that they, because of their experience with war, which was really, really negative, that they had this kind of bad view of it until, like, the more it was explained, like, it's almost like people are beating down their negative view of war, where it's like, no, it's fine, it's all staged. And where so like they might just get to a point where they just can't tell if the fighting is staged or not.
I think so too, yeah. Because like you see this, but like, and to be fair, like you're like, okay, well nobody gets hurt in the stage ones. And like there still is a big difference of like when Jade Emperor fights and saves the day versus when the Jade Emperor takes over and there's carnage left behind. Yeah. Amy would explain to you that he's kind of controversial because of that, but all of them are kind of controversial for a number of reasons. And then Strikes is actually the first member of the Six who does not have a superpower or immune power.
He just uses the mech suit, right?
Yep. And Amy gives you some other things. Both Tarragonal and Strikes were former villains. They have been reformed. Tarragonal used to be Lady Lightspeed's arch nemesis. Then got super popular, and they offered her a actual position as on the Six. And then Strikes is currently, he was a non-affiliated Klein villain, like so a criminal, like a gang member, who has turned hero, and Klein has given him the opportunity he was never allowed to have, because being a non-mutant in Marcainne is very difficult. But yeah, so that's just a little bit about them. As you work more and more with Caleb, they show you a lot of like videos of like the kinds of things that they were like Bind and Amy has told you about, of like the Six in action, but you see some other heroes too. Eventually, Caleb looks at you and goes, all right, so recently I've been working on kind of a personal project. I was assigned a villain a while back. He had the ability to enter the... This is kind of complex. How much do you know about magic?
This one is not familiar.
I see. So, for lack of a better term, magic is bullshit and makes no sense. So, deal with me when I describe it. He had the ability to enter through reflections into some kind of like mirror dimension of our world. Yeah, sure. Doesn't need to make sense. Just deal with it.
Just absentmindedly nodding.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
When he was there, he could summon a lot of things. He was very powerful. He could also bring people into it. It was really important. We used to take villains in there to do a lot of their fights, to film them, without them being a detriment to people around them, right? Because there's nobody there. Except there was one thing there. A person. His reflection. Recently, Aaron, the guy who used to be able to do that, he worked under me. He passed in a fight recently. And so, he has left behind his reflection. They now work underneath me, and I have been trying to figure out how to get them into stuff because they don't really know how to interact with people very well. It's something I think that you are pretty familiar with, and why I imagine and surmise they assigned you to me. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I would love you for you to meet them at some point. Their name is Nora, but they're gonna be called Roram when they hit the stage.
Yes. Mirror backwards. I see.
Yep. It's pretty simple. A lot of superheroes have very on-brand names.
So Nora will be this one's rival?
No, actually. I think you guys are going to work together for a bit. Maybe when you're a hero, though. Two villains that work together and then one turned hero and they start being arch rivals. Could be a good sell.
This one is excited.
Yeah. Do you want to meet them?
Yes.
Perfect. They also happen to live in the dormitories, so... as you are walked over to one of the dormitories, not too far away from yours, not right next to it, though, by any means, as he knocks on them. It opens up, and you see a person. They have very, very pale skin, like to the point of being just white skin, like paper white skin. They have these dark eye bags under their eyes. Their eyes have no pupils or irises. It's just mirror, like reflective material. They have this dark, shaggy black hair that falls onto their head, like unkempt and overgrown a little bit. This baggy black sweater, baggy pants, and this kind of look like plain almost if it wasn't for the fact that they just kind of look so weird as they look up and go, "Hey Caleb." "Hi."
Hello. This one is Wanderer.
"Wanderer."
I think that Wanderer, they're vaguely humanoid shaped enough that they don't even realize that they look weird.
Yeah.
Like mirror eyes, whatever.
Yeah.
They kind of clap their hands together because it's something that they've worked on is to be able to like express excitement. So that they'll just kind of do this and say, "Oh, so pleased to make that one's acquaintance. Nora and Wanderer will be great allies."
Allies. I see. Wonderful. As they kind of like mimic it back at you.
I love that.
Yeah. As you get to meet with Nora, over the time that you meet with Nora, you realize that Nora doesn't have much color. It stays as this dull gray. And you've been trying to figure out what this color is the entire time you're around them. And you realize it isn't really the absence of emotion, but it's almost just like complete neutrality. It's not zen. That has a slight blue tinge to it. Purple tint, blue tinge. It's just
The resting.
Yeah, the resting color. But this is just like neutral, like completely neutral. And like all of the entities that you feel are never at neutral, you're realizing. Like this is a completely new color. And so it's kind of fun. Occasionally though, they will, when you're hanging out with them, especially throughout these 4 months, see a blip of color. And I think it's so cool to you.
I was gonna ask if seeing that neutrality, I think that Wanderer would maybe gauge like, hey, are you maybe powerful? Like, could we try merging a little bit? And like, what if I put my emotion in, like trying that emotional manipulation, like working? I could see them possibly trying to like practice this power that they have recently come in to. Like, is that something that Nora would be willing to do?
So you noticed throughout the entire time when talking with Nora that they don't have opinions on things. Unlike Bind, who does the whole mysterious thing, is like I don't have opinions, and then Amy very clearly does. Nora just like actually doesn't. And every time, like anytime you're hanging out one-on-one, it's a lot harder to interact with them because they literally just give you I don't know all the time.
Just do what I'm doing.
But when you hang out with them and Caleb, they will always look to Caleb. And Caleb seems very interested in this prospect. You know that one of Caleb's main goals or motivations is to help Roram or Nora acclimate to being human without their reflection. You also get the idea that Nora probably has been very deeply, to call it upset about the loss of their actual, like, their reflection is incorrect. But like almost most of them has been severed off, and you realize that that's probably where the neutrality is coming from. But yeah, so yes, very positive. And if you try to do that, it does seem to be helping, and Caleb is very, very happy.
I think that they would primarily, I think they believe that all emotions are good emotions.
I think absolutely you would have that feeling.
So I don't think that they would think to only show them the positive ones either. So I feel like they're probably like, and here's war, and here's famine, And here's opening your Christmas. Oh, I guess I don't know that one. And here's getting the thing you've always
Yeah,
wanted.
and getting a phone from your best friend.
Here's getting a phone from your best friend, the only friend you've ever had. And then also, and here's like you become a grandparent for the first time. And it's like, I don't have kids.
yeah.
What do you mean?
That's so funny. You guys do at some point like Roram, and you were just kind of talking when you're hanging out, and Roram's like, or Nora's like, do you want to see it?
Yes. Whatever it is, yes.
Okay. Yeah. As they will walk you to the bedroom of their dormitory, and there is a full-length mirror that's on the ground. As Roram or Nora will take their hand and it just into the mirror like it's a pool. Like you've seen water before, like racks like water, and Roram or Nora holds up their hand.
They happily grab it as you.
And you've gotten so much better as you grab their hand. It doesn't hurt them at all because they have 0 super strength. They would be crushed.
The most gentlest hold.
Yeah, as you were pulled in, as immediately you were brought out of the mirror in this room, and the whole room is monochrome and all of the colors are inverted. So everything is black and white and then inverted. As you were brought in here, and you and Nora have a wonderful time. There is nobody here. There's no colors here.
I like that less, but no people. That's great.
There are no people here. Yeah. As you guys literally get a walk, you ask them to take you to the Meridian. You ask them to take you to the Klein Towers. You ask them to take you just places.
I feel like I would show Nora my actual form here if I could. Then, I feel like that's something that they know not to like tell people, and like they're not sure where like. They are calling everyone allies and friends and stuff, but I think the only person they truly trust right now is Bind/Amy.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So I think that they like hadn't really said anything in any of the times that they'd hung out, but like maybe in this mirror world they might be like, can I be my true self? Like so I think like that Nora asked like, do you want to see this? And I think once they're there, I think Wanderer would turn to Nora and say do you
Okay, we'll pause.
I'll say it again whenever we can, but like basically like can I be myself essentially.
I love it. Awesome. As you say, or they say yes. You realize that they don't have an idea of like what they're agreeing to, but eventually you head out, and even like this, it's no color, and it's just the world kind of. As you go a bit of distance, eventually, apparating on a rooftop nearby, is Nora. As I look over to you, I wouldn't go too far. Oh, you're not gonna be able to leave without me.
They turn a color.
Yeah.
They turn green. Is the world shimmery or like reflect? Like, does if Wanderer changes?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
As it kind of like, back at you.
Cool. I don't think we have
You're
that.
good. As Nora looks over, the person that was a part of me, Aaron, he didn't have any abilities here. He could just use it to effectively teleport. But I do. I can control here. Just not things in here. Does that make sense?
You can make this green. Oh wait, no, I get it. No, I'm back in my body.
Yep,
I'll just for easiness, because I was like, I think they got out and they were like, wait, we can't talk.
Yeah.
And then got back in.
I could, yeah. I don't know why, but as they touch one of the buildings and it green, like some like RGB green.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This one loves your powers, but also this one is sorry for Nora's loss. This one has, while this one did not lose this one has felt incredibly close loss. Close to this one.
Caleb has told me the same. It is a common human experience.
Them just being like, I don't know that it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
But that's really, yes. Nora does not seem to enjoy much Does Nora have emotions?
I don't know.
Does Nora like living?
What does Nora like what?
Does Nora like living?
I don't think I count as living. I technically don't have a heartbeat. I do not age. And as far as I know, unless I was completely distracted, I cannot die.
Well, Nora probably noticed that this one is similar. This one does not age. And this one's not sure if this one can die. But
I see.
this one believes that Nora could be living. This one has no heartbeat.
Could be living. Want to live, I think. Aaron liked living, I think.
This one would be happy to help Nora want to live and enjoy living.
I see. Caleb would be happy. You also get the feeling, kind of how you have like, attached and imprinted onto Bind. That is what Nora feels like to Caleb.
We're too similar.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, no, I get you.
Yeah.
We can get there, I think.
Yeah.
I just had I have a little bit more personhood than Nora does at the beginning, I think.
Oh yeah, for
where
sure.
it's just like, I can help her in that way, where I
Yeah.
just have a little bit more work done.
Yeah. As, Nora, you notice that Nora does physically emote sometimes with Caleb, like in their face especially. When they're with you, they don't emote in their face at all, and you're realizing it's because you can't emote in your face. As they go, I am excited. Would you like to see some of the things I can do?
Yes, please.
I think it'll help us in our villain work if we need to. As they touch one of the buildings and you watch as it fragments into a bunch of shards of glass as they do it, and it rebuilds itself into almost like this glass like bridge that goes across the city, and they can just make and create things.
Can this one or that one do this in the real world too?
Me?
Yeah.
I can control figments, reflections, not glass.
Oh. This one is looking forward to being a villain with you, with that one.
Yes, we have an assignment coming up soon.
Oh.
We will be here. Your job is to make sure that everyone acts according to plan. My job is to alter the terrain battlefield like the terrain and battlefield is normal.
This one understands. This one will do everything for a good outcome.
Awesome. I'm excited. As they kind of like smile and actually say, I'm excited as you see that blip of color.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, as you spend your time with them, and you get to your first few missions, with Nora. Your missions are inside of the mirror dimension, and you are to have civilians and hostages who have been brought here specifically, to ensure that they act accordingly. Like, you're giving instructions. Caleb is invisible, like, in the area too if you have any questions, and you are getting like a comm system so you can talk to both of them and Nora, and you watch Nora do these insane things with the battlefield, like when the two like heroes, like the heroes and villains are fighting, like one of them is rocketed into a building and you watch as Nora just explodes it inwards.
I love it.
Yeah, a complete stage thing. There's a whole news crew in here and everything too.
They're definitely getting distracted by how cool, because I think this is the first time they've been here live and seeing it, so I think they're fully getting distracted. And
Yeah.
like, no, work.
Yeah.
We are working.
It's so funny. Yeah, and it's kind of awesome.
So cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna pause it really quickly. As you spend your time with Nora and Caleb, visiting with Bind occasionally, and then some of the other people at Klein that you've met, and some newer people at Klein that you've met, and eventually months pass, and it's been half a year since your most recent stint in Marcainne, and we'll go ahead and pick up with the others. Yay!
Perfect.